God,
we're
I am
back.
so fucking nervous.
Don't worry,
are we
it's
back?
okay.
Hello?
We're back.
Loki, nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's my maximum
Loki,
cozy
I just
shirt.
sit and let time pass.
It was my mid
Stop
session
that.
change.
Let time pass.
Stop that.
You're rude for that.
You're rude for that.
Sorry.
And yet you're not.
You're not.
You're not.
As you are going up the stairs, Andromeda, to dive back into it,
Oh, it's gonna get good.
Moxius is leaving the study above, and is kind of barreling down the corridor, and he passes you without even like a second thought. Like he doesn't even like really look at you. He just is like barreling down the stairs.
Glares at him.
Fair. And he kind of takes the
Watches him
stairs like two at a time, and then like comes out into the living room below. And I think by this point, some of your companions have started to get kind of like cozy. Like I think Solar's kind of like drifting a little bit, where they're like laying on the little cushioned floor.
Aria definitely brought Dax over to them.
They are just sleepily petting him. And I think Arthurus and Silas have kind of gotten sort of like comfortable, like they're in the lounge as well. And Arthurus is flicking through like her book, and Silas is kind of like snoozing off a little, like dropping off a tiny bit, because he's also drank this tea, so he's like
Sleepy time.
Sleepy.
It's the sleepy time tea for him, that's for sure.
Eepy.
Eepy.
Connor
and
is
he was
kind of
earlier the whole time.
Yeah.
He was taking a shift, so he needs to sleep.
He needs Eepy. And Connor is kind of just like milling about in the room. He's looking at like the little dried flowers on the walls, and he's kind of just like taking in everything while he like sips at his little coffee. I think you know what I have planned for you, Wit. For your little nighttime moment, since maybe Silas and Arthros are going to sleep, and the only one around is Connor in the room. Sorry.
That's so aggressive.
Wit's here to recruit.
Damn right.
Like
Damn right.
military
It's aggressive.
In that case, Wit's probably going to also get some coffee later on when that happens.
Yeah. Anywho.
Well, the berry juice was good.
Yeah.
like it.
Moxie's kind of like takes the stairs two at a time, kind of comes down, barrels out into the room, and immediately just like looks for Ven and like goes up to her. And he kind of walks up and like looks at her a moment, gives her this like look before he like leans forward and like whispers something to her. And you watch as her expression dawns with something like horror. And
No.
she, like, her eyes just immediately dart over each of you. Specifically Arlo, Wit, and Aria, as you're the only ones down here right now that have had this conversation.
Can you tell me the beginning of what you said again? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're
My
fine,
brain
you're
cut
fine.
out.
I said that her expression, all I really said is that her
like
expression
horror.
dawns with, like, horror.
Who's expression?
As,
That's
oh,
what-
Ven.
Oh, I love Ven. Hi.
You're fine.
So
Moxius came down to
about
tell
Aura.
her the results, and the
That's
results
okay.
were bad, and she looked at the rest of us.
Yeah, that's the summary. That's all it was.
Okay.
I added a lot of words I didn't need to.
I think
That is not about you.
No,
This
I was
goes-
being
Well,
phrasing.
it's still-
Excuse you.
auditory processing
You're real for that.
disorders.
Yeah, you're real for
I was
that.
thinking about a Wawa.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
That's my aunt.
yeah.
Did you
Yeah, I
know?
love her. I was just thinking about
That's
her.
my aunt.
And
That's
she's
my
so cool.
She is really cool.
Her sister's dead.
Okay.
Jeebus.
Well, anyways, so
Like that.
Moxius kind of stands aside, and he like looks between all of you before he moves to head back upstairs. And Ven kind of just like clears her throat, and she looks at the three of you and kind of like waggles her fingers for a moment.
Yeah,
and, like,
Aria is already moving.
Yeah.
As soon as she heard
Yeah,
Moxie's come down the
fair.
stairs,
But
I think she
yeah.
was like,
also was heading over.
And she moves kind of to like a corner of the kitchen that's like out of earshot of everyone kind of in the lounge. And she turns to look at all of you and says very carefully, details, please. How did you find it, the skeleton?
we may be able to do this in another room.
She glances over, she's like, it's quite fine. Just
Is it not him?
It is not.
Fuck.
I'm going
It
to
was
fucking
right next to
kill
Bias. Who else could it be?
her. Fucking
He is still, Moxie is, he's still working on identifying just who it is, but he has told me that it is certainly not Ulric.
fuck.
How did you find him? I need to know how. What
We
did it look
went-
like?
We went to Subnara and we had a friend who showed us, told us about this captain that she worked with. She helped us get to Deadhead Bay. We met a shopkeep, got some new spells, potions, things of that sort. One of them being a yeah, I'm doing this all now. One of them being a little potion bottle thing, flask, holds bodies, transport. When we were on the ship, there was a creature called the 𝐓𝐿𝐵 that Andromeda had a connection with. Had that connection because apparently she had made a blood pact with Tobias to get her boyfriend, who was cursed by the Bone Blade, was it called, revived, but then changed her deal. So then she would have a little buddy, a play date, twice a week.
Andromeda currently upstairs about to have that play date.
So she could have a play date twice a week with the man who wants to kill everyone.
By the
And
gods.
so when we went down, we, Andromeda convinced us to follow the 𝐓𝐿𝐵 because apparently there was a god that it believed in, and we thought, well, yeah, maybe that could be Ulric, maybe in some
That's not
fucked up,
time
twisted
limited.
reality.
I
Yes.
do not blame you.
And so we go down. There's some fucking weird culty shit down there. They make Andromeda a deity. We go inside this room. And whose body is laying there? Oh, it's Tobias's. Tobias's body was laying there in a weird fucked up form. Because
Was
he's always
Ulric's
weird and
name
fucked up.
on the coffin? I'm
He
trying
was,
to remember.
he was in a coffin with his initials on it. Mm.
With his
And then-
initials. Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to kill Tobias because I hate him. And then Andromeda stopped me because she said, no, that'll kill me because I did a blood pact. So I didn't. And then they said, and then I got mad because I was like, well, I want to kill him. I want to dismember something really badly because what else am I fucking here for? And then they said, well, look, there's another body. Ulric's body's in a coffin, and it wasn't a body, it was a skeleton. And now we're here.
But the initials were on the coffin.
Yes.
We should have known. We should have known that if it wasn't a
Of
body,
course we
that
should have fucking known.
No, there is no.
We didn't know what state it was going to be in.
Listen to me. This is not on you. You understand? This is. It was a ploy. It's a red herring. Either Rain was too attached to actually toss his father into the oceans of Subnara, or it's something
He's
much worse.
I think it's worse.
He thanked me for doing it. I
Then
saw Rain.
And he is not aware. Then he wouldn't be aware unless he was lying.
I don't think he would lie. He was.
Not
He
about
was done.
this. I don't think so either.
He's currently indisposed.
Does this mean that Ulric is walking around somewhere, or somebody on his behalf has his body?
If Ulric is walking around somewhere, things are far worse than I ever anticipated. Rain holds his soul, yes? So if Ulric is walking around somewhere, he does not have a soul within his body. And Ulric without a soul, you would have thought he didn't have one in the first place.
I didn't realize that was a thing that could happen.
Oh, it's well and truly possible. And if Calypso gave him immortality like the rest of us, who knows how this would counteract with a human being?
Can you track his soul? Can Moxius do something about that?
I think we'd have to have a piece of it to try and track it.
He doesn't quite understand the intricacies of soul magic. He can simply just
Read the dead.
feel if they're not fully there.
Do you think she'd know? Do you
First.
think Calypso would know?
I don't know.
That's a scary thought.
The scariest thought to me is that what if she hasn't been working with Rain this entire time? What if she's been working with Ulric? Unbeknownst to Rain himself.
Yeah.
I do not know what this means, but this is not your fault, so please do not blame yourself for any of this. If this really is Ulric, and if this is really his doing, then it is not on you to have sussed out. Gods only know how many times he's manipulated me.
I haven't even met the fucking bastard, and he's already doing it.
On a light note, at least you can actually kill him, if he really is walking around. Sorry. I know it is not the best news to receive. We will deal with this accordingly. We have each other, that is what is most important.
What if he finds you? If he finds me? That was the whole reason I haven't come since.
He cannot do anything to you.
But he can do things to you.
He cannot.
He's done so many.
Aria, he wields no magic. It is all his mind. It is all
It's been a long time.
math
We
and
don't-
science
We
and
don't know
numbers.
that.
But if he holds and is molding Calypso's mind, and we're working on freeing her for
Or if he
various
makes another
reasons,
Tobias.
We don't know
then he
that.
becomes powerful.
We're jumping to conclusions that we do not know. We don't even know if this is him. This could be someone puppeting his very form to be scary, to intimidate. Maybe it's a different player entirely.
Best case scenario, he's dormant somewhere, just a body in a different location. Worst case, he's powerful and pulling the strings.
We just haven't been seeing a lot of best case scenarios lately.
We really haven't.
You've been the best case we've gotten in a long time.
Well, you are here now. We are here together, and we are intact. And we are aware.
Not fully intact. Not all of us.
No, and we will work on that.
I don't want to go to sleep.
Aria just walks up to him and gives him a hug.
What is it you feel,
Then
Arlo? She looks.
I don't know what to say to her. I don't know what.
She shows up when he's sleeping and gives him memories.
Then would you be able to visit Arlo instead if you slept at the same time?
But she'll
Just
know. She'll
wondering.
know that my mind was closed, and she'll. I need to.
Do you need to face her?
There's a balance. There's a balance here between her and Eudona, and my trust with her, for both. I have to tread it very carefully.
We do not know if she's aware of this. We don't. I
Okay.
am not one to give Calypso benefit of the doubt, but if I really have to comfort you, then I will. We do not know.
I still trust you to handle it how you need to.
However you think is best.
What do I not tell her? What do I tell her about Rain? What do I say? She
That
doesn't
he's
have
the
a
most
body
safe?
anymore.
That Tobias forced our hands and we did as much as we could for him. She does care for him.
He's safe. That's all I think that's all she's worried. She should be worried about right now.
And if she asks why, where, how, just say, trust me, and hope that works.
Yeah.
Either that.
I think you've earned some trust.
I'm scared Tobias has taken it away. But
I don't
maybe...
think she's fond of She is, isn't she, though? Tobias pretends with her.
He does, probably.
What if she thinks I'm pretending?
Then you show her that you're not.
Tobias treated Rain badly, right? We saw that, right? People like that, they're bad. People don't make exceptions.
You got to be careful with things like that. She's really sensitive about good and bad.
I think given the choice, though, she would choose Rain over Tobias. And she would choose you over Tobias in a heartbeat.
Okay, thank you. I just needed to sort that.
Okay. It's okay. Just say that he's safe. And that we're going to figure it all out.
If anything, she wants the family reunited. So you've taken a step towards that.
Orion's watching. Rain. Kind of.
You don't have to say that, but yeah.
No, I'm saying it to Ben because she doesn't know.
Oh, right.
She nods.
Ben doesn't know a lot.
She's just kind of listening, but she seems a bit, like, distant. But she nods.
Yeah, she just got awful news. So did we, though.
He's the only one I trust. To keep him safe.
We should find out where Orion's soul is at some point.
Yeah, I'd fucking like to know.
We should have asked Rain, but...
He wouldn't tell me. He needs it.
I should have asked.
He needs it. That's the thing. We ask about these things.
Well, Orion's soul isn't in Rain. He said that much.
But
Rain
he
wasn't with him.
needs Orion in order to finish whatever Calypso needs. That's why he won't tell us anything about that. He needs to keep things as simple as he can so it doesn't fuck up Calypso's plan.
Yeah, I still would have liked to ask. But fair enough.
Never hurts asking, of course. But
We will take this one step at a time.
First step is you do sleep, Arlo. And we'll be here when you wake up.
I wish Cal had a cell phone.
Imagine getting him a little prepaid phone that works across realms. That's a little magically like
Soft.
tampered with. That'd be so cute.
Ven just kind of smiles at you, Arlo, and she does step forward towards you, and she looks at you very carefully, and she says, if 𝐂𝐻𝐢𝐻𝐿 were here, he would be immensely proud of you.
Oh.
No, you make that noise, but I assure you, he has
Maybe
always
over there.
been proud of you. It doesn't change. It never has.
Thank you.
he's been really missing him.
I know what it's like to miss Cal. No, I can make you some chamomile and knock you right out.
Okay, yeah.
She turns to make some more tea. Starts mixing it. And she is just like... She's like, fuck. Because I think she very much thought that she was like 3 steps ahead. Like she was excited that
No,
it was
we all
like...
did.
Yeah, she was
We
like,
all
we're
thought that
fucking...
we were
And now
like-
we just thought,
Like, we're making fucking progress. We're doing great. We're making fucking progress. And then
And
it's
now we've
just
just
like,
been bamboozled quite literally by
Now she-
somebody who
yeah.
was a step ahead of us.
now she feels like she's 3
Jesus.
steps behind.
Mastermind. He's a mastermind. He's playing
Yeah.
all of us like
Dude, we're
fools,
playing checkers, he's playing chess.
playing 4-dimensional chess.
yeah,
cool
yeah.
with that.
Mention chess.
Y'all cool with that?
That was insane. That's
I was
fucking
watching you react. It
insane.
was really funny. Oh, it's gonna
I'm
be
sad.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm scared going up.
Sorry.
I'm
I know.
gonna be honest, morale is low right now.
I'm sorry.
my morale has never been lower.
I'm
It's
sorry.
Guys,
never
really?
been
I'm getting a
lower,
blanket.
actually.
Grandma times.
I know, I
nice
got my
grandma
blanket.
Times,
Yeah,
bombs.
I need a blanket.
sometimes are good though.
By the way,
That's not your granddad. That's a random imposter
Season
person.
finale, boys.
Also, who is that random body then that you took the ribs from?
Fucking Ulric. Ulric fucking ass. Who is this?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That person's ghost is just like, dude, what did I ever do to you? What the heck? It's my
Wrong
head.
place, wrong time.
At least they were a
motherfucker.
skeleton, right?
Oh.
Wrong place, wrong time.
I should have touched him. I should have touched him and been like, who the fuck is this person?
Oh.
Well, why would you have done that?
Y'all had-
Bad
Don't
timing
do
on
that.
You had a lot. You all had a lot
Bad
on your.
timing. Yeah, you wouldn't have done. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I was busy
You can't
taking
put
all the
that on
jewels in
you.
the world, all right? I had.
But that's the fun.
I was
That's the
busy
fun.
killing.
That's the fun
Trying.
narrative of it, right?
Trying.
Because it was like there were so many distractions that it was like just.
Oh,
Take the body and
Drum
go.
was
Gone
like,
by.
do you want me to track down? And Drum was like, do you want me to track down Ulric? To
That's
see
so
if-
like Ulric to
I-
like fake his own death though, or do whatever happened.
Honestly, kind of cunty slave for him to do that.
It is, but we don't talk about that.
Country slave, but we don't talk about that.
Slash-
Um,
We can't give him the positive reinforcement. We
Fair.
can't acknowledge it.
so fair.
Squirt him with a spray bottle.
Shit.
As
Ulric, when I
Ven,
catch you, Ulric, Ulric, when I catch you, Ulric.
Ven makes
you
the little chamomile for you, Arlo, and hands it to you and says, you can sleep wherever you'd like. If you'd like to stay down here or have your own room upstairs, it's up to you. There are 2 beds in each of my guest rooms, so make yourself at home. They are small,
Thank you.
but they are cozy.
It was nice to meet you
Again,
again.
we've spent a lot of time together, mind.
I imagine you are wonderful to be around. So
I hope that will prove true for the future.
I'm sure it will.
And she kind of lifts her own tea and she like clinks yours and she says, too many more meetings that you remember,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
She
Oh
takes
boy.
a sip.
Chugs.
And she, I think, like, as she kind of turns, she turns like towards Aria, but on the way, like, glances at you and like gives your shoulder like another squeeze, and like just kind of smiles at you before she turns to you, Aria. And she kind of like moves into your space to kind of only speak to you a little bit more, like.
Aria's very like zoned out, so that makes
Fair.
sense too.
Under her breath.
Yeah.
And she looks at you and she says, I'll be staying up to do some reading, but I have a cot in my study if you'd like to sleep there. I'm not sure I wish to be away from you just yet. So.
Did my girlfriend come?
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, that's the first thing that came
That's
to my
fair.
head.
That's fair.
Did my wife come?
Can my wife
Yeah.
come?
I would like that. I'm just gonna check it.
It's quite fine. They're welcome to come with you. I just would prefer to watch over you for now as you sleep.
And Aria like turns to look back, and is Dax still with Solar?
Yeah, and I think Solar is like arms like over their chest, just like this, with like with the cat like on their lap, and they're just like eyes closed, like kind of snoozing a little bit, but like probably lightly.
Yeah, I think Aria will like walk over to Solar, and just like gently kind of like push their bangs back.
And they kind of like snuff a little bit, and like
Why don't we
frown, look at you.
Why don't we head to bed?
Yeah, it is that time, right?
Mhm.
Just about. It should have been that time like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They get up and they just carry the cat with them. They start to follow you sleepily.
Yeah.
And Ven immediately kind of
Aria
just
yeah,
starts going up the stairs.
yeah. I think Aria puts like her hand on their back, like the lower of their back,
Fair,
and walks
fair,
them up the stairs,
That's soft.
and kind of like leans over as soon as they're up at the top of the stairs, walk into the room and be like,
Fair.
"This is my grandma, by the way."
Solar's like, yeah. Rain's mom.
She's
Weird.
Hello.
She seems nice.
She is. And she's got a cat now. She's cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah.
Dax is cute. Yeah.
And Solar just pets him. And Ben kind of just walks into the room, sort of moves over towards a little cot that kind of is at the back, and it's almost like by a little window in their room, so it probably reminds you a little bit of your bed at your mom's.
Yeah.
Solar kind of puts Dax down, and Dax just kind of like follows you guys as you walk over to it. And Ven is very quick to kind of make it comfortable for you. She kind of like fluffs the pillows a moment and like pulls back the sheets and smiles very warmly at you. Before she just kind of moves forward and like gives you a hug and like squeezes you tight and pulls back and says,
I think as they're hugging, she kind of just whispers like, sorry.
She shakes her head and she pulls back. She looks at you. She says, I will not tolerate it. Do not say sorry to me. You understand?
It's just a shit situation.
It is, and it's not one that you have put us in. It is what it is. And what it is a little bit shit. But we will figure it out. We have come this far. We have reconciled. We have reunited. I've met you and all your friends. I feel as though I have a family again.
You'll always have a family.
And so are you.
Getting there.
You can include Moxius and Aurora into that. They've kind of become annoying extensions of myself.
I was going to say the end of the sentence there.
It's just like extensions of myself.
They seem lovely.
They are absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, so are we.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get some rest now. And should you need anything, I will be right across the room.
It's going to be weird, though. I'm going to be... I took a cat nap, and I was alone in my mother's shop.
Right.
So it's really quiet.
Not to make you worry, but I, in fact, just simply haven't slept, nor had the brain power to make a visit.
Why was it that Aurora said you were eating? Or sleeping, or taking...
I get caught up in my head at times. Trying to figure everything out, trying to pass out puzzles, trying to rid myself of guilt that just keeps on coming back.
Mm.
It is not very fun to have nightmares, even when you are awake. But I do, nonetheless. And they just get worse when I try to sleep. And also Arte is kind of having a conniption currently, so I'm trying to help him through.
Oh, because of everything?
Yes.
Yeah. What's going on there? It's bad. Pretty bad.
Let's not worry about it currently. We are going to worry about what we are worrying about. And that is what to do next. And what to do next currently is to sleep. You cannot do anything on an hour or two. I will wake you with a traditional Underdark breakfast, as well as some coffee. Just how you like it. I know how you like it now.
I do like it. As long as I can make you a cup of tea.
How could I possibly say no? Rest, Aria. You are not alone. Not tonight.
This isn't a dream, right?
No. If it is a dream, it's the best one I've had in quite some time.
Even with the bad news?
Even with the bad news. Ulric could live 1,000 lifetimes. As long as I have you in my life. It is what it is. That scared me. That was,
Sorry.
that's
I know,
okay. It was good timing. It was good timing.
What was that?
Speaking
My
of
phone.
𝑅𝐸𝐪, my fucking
Oh.
background.
Oh!
Or
I really love
I
baby.
miss him.
I miss him too.
He's just a little
him.
guy.
I don't want him to have a
Okay.
connection. I want him to be
He's
okay.
having a fucking
Remember when
connection.
we were all suspicious of him? Remember when we were so
Yeah.
suspicious of
And you
him?
were
I
so
was such a
mean to him
victim.
in your
We were
interrogation.
so mean to him.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry. It's okay. They were trying to find Arlo. It's
They're
alright.
sassing him. That's fine.
Then
Thank you for it. For finding
yeah,
me.
hell yeah. Ven just kind of pats your cheek, Aria, and makes up the bed for you. And Solar has kind of already climbed in and
Yeah.
is like kind of lying there, just kind of smiling at
They're
the
getting the
interaction.
grandma. They're getting
The grandma
grandma.
treatment.
Yeah.
They just kind of are like smiling at the interaction, and like the moment you both kind of like Ven and you like kind of look away, like back to Solar, they just like close their eyes. Like,
Yeah, like,
they look away. Yeah. And Dax has like crawled up and curled on the end of the bed, kind of by Solar's feet, and then just kind of like gestures to the small cot and smiles at you and takes a breath and says, your proof will come when you wake, and I will still be here in the morning.
Just gotta get through the night.
And you will.
Thanks.
Rest, and just shout for me if you need me. I will be within eyesight. And she kind of like clasps her hands together and just moves right to where her desk is, and it's like facing the bed, so you can see her like literally sitting right there. And she moves and she slowly sits down.
Mm-hmm.
She smiles at you from across the way, and then like picks up one of her books and begins flipping through the pages.
Yeah. I think Aria just like kind of methodically like undoes her corset and then gets in bed.
Soft. She going through it a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Valid. I'm gonna jump to Andromeda. Firstly, though,
Oh, Nelly.
I'd like to know, Arlo, are you kind of heading up to go to bed as well? Okay. Are you gonna go upstairs
How's
into
that
one of the
chamomile
little...
tea treating you?
Yeah, sleepy eepy. Are you going up towards the like guest rooms, or are you gonna
Yeah,
stay
I think-
downstairs?
It's my little headcanon that Arlo feels really vulnerable sleeping when he knows he's having meetings with Calypso or just nightmares in
That
general.
is
So he likes
fair.
to try to be as private as possible when he's sleeping.
That's fair. With that, then, Dimitri is very obediently following you upstairs. Didn't even ask a question. Kind of just saw like you drinking the tea, getting kind of sleepier, and immediately just like follows after you. And I think it's a very what's the word? Routine manner of like Dimitri kind of heading up there, seeing one of the empty cots, and like pulling back the covers before like slipping in and like laying and then lifting a cover so you can like slide in next to him.
Yeah.
And it's very like immediate, like he doesn't even really think, he doesn't even like say anything to you, but he sees like the fucking events of the day on your shoulders and like how sleepy and stressed you are.
It's a like routine thing for Arlo to like everything is crazy, and that's the one thing he is like that's a consistent thing is like this like bedtime routine of just letting it all kind of walk away and just seeing him. Yeah 100%.
And he is very quick, like I assume you lay down beside him, and he's very quick to like wrap the blanket around you and kind of tuck it in on one side and just kind of like wrap his arms around you so that your face is like, or like your cheek is pressed to his chest essentially. And he just holds you there and just breathes steadily. And I like to think that like maybe unbeknownst to Arlo, like Dimitri just stays awake until he knows that your like breathing has evened out and you've like drifted off.
So sweet.
He's perfect, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right, correct. I really love him.
He just might be perfect.
Really
and he's very quick to make it cozy, and he like I think he takes like your tea for you and just places it on the little nightstand like so that it's there
So
in
soft
case you
for
want
a
it.
ex-gang leader.
Yeah.
He's always been
Listen,
a softie.
and that's why we fucking love him.
Always. Yeah.
Love him. With
love
that, I am going to
All
dart.
right, it's time.
I'm going to dart to Andromeda before sliding to the rest of you. For your little moments tonight. Andromeda. Hey. Haley? Oh, you're muted. Okay, so I was like, can you hear me? Hey.
I can hear you.
You were just
Loud.
hesitant, I see. You walk into Aurora's room, and I assume your mind is kind of glued to the thought of the vial that is kind of burning hot in your satchel.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what you do when you enter. I will say that this room specifically, Aurora's room, has like a simple little cot in it, and a single nightstand, and a lot of sun-themed merchandise, as though she's kind of living vicariously through seeing the stuff in this room. There's like a tapestry full of suns. It looks like the suns from like Rapunzel too. It's like the little squiggly like and it's just decked around everywhere. I think she has like one of the little lanterns, and it's got like a little shadow of a sun on it and things like that. Like it's just completely decked out in like gold and like any sort of like sun propaganda. Yeah, what do you do when you walk in? You do see that there's another door as well, and it's slightly ajar, and it seems as though it's a bathroom. It leads to like a little extended bathroom.
Lovely. So she has a lamp raised up, and she's like pretending it's like a sun. So she's like she's feeding as she's like walking into the room and stuff. Is there a window?
Yes, there's a small one, but it's like, not to make it weird, but they kind of look like church windows in the way that they're kind of like, they go upward and they like point at the top. So it's like a...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like those kind of windows.
Does it open at all?
I don't think so. It's like that. It's like mosaic tile more than like a shift up kind of window.
Because Andromeda's fully not comfortable calling Tobias.
That's fair.
While Ven is in the house.
That's
like she
fair.
feels like that's crossing a boundary she does not want to cross.
That's fair.
So I feel like she is going to pick up the vial and kind of whisper to it like, 1 second, please. And she's gonna put it in her bag and she's gonna wait. Like a solid 10 to 15 minutes. 20 minutes as she's hearing like everyone kind of go to bed.
That's fair.
Possible.
That is fair.
Yeah.
As you are doing this, as you're kind of waiting, I will say the room is pretty dark. You can see that little like lantern kind of in one corner. It's kind of tucked on the nightstand. But there's like an area with like a little wardrobe and stuff that's kind of like darkened by shadows a little bit. Like the bathroom is dark from where you can see just like the door slightly ajar. And I think after about like 5 or so minutes, you hear boots on the floor.
Of fucking course.
And they like kind of like, it's that like kind of shuffling sound as though someone has just like walked into the room. But no doors open or anything of that nature.
And she sat like in the corner on the floor. Lamp raised up above her, like she kind of like balanced it on like a table or something, so it's like shining down on her, and her knees are pressed to her chest, and she's kind of like there.
Even better then, because you have this like little sun lamp, and because it is like rays of sunlight, it's doing that thing that like happens to your eyes when you're in a dark room, right, where it's like you're looking at this one light, and so it's almost like blinding to like look elsewhere because it's so bright. And so when you hear the shuffling and you kind of like, do you look towards where the noise is?
Yeah, her head kind of like, and she doesn't seem startled at all. Because at this point she knows him.
Yeah.
She knows he's not going to be patient or anything. So she just, like turns her head to look towards the noise.
That's fair. And you see this tall figure, and I think it takes a moment probably for you to kind of blink that like blinding light out of your eyes that came from that little sunlight. And you see just more or less a silhouette first, this like silhouette of a being. And he is leaning kind of against the wall in the opposite corner. So he is like across the room and he is leaning against the wall. And you hear when you turn, you notice, sorry, I'm organizing my thoughts. You notice the shape of his silhouette with the big like horn protruding, that like true form, the other little like horns that are kind of surrounding it. You see the waviness of his hair, and his skin looks pale in the dark kind of cool tones of this room, and it is mottled with the red and purple and black and burgundy and coated in those white, very pristine scars. And his horns look glossy in the cool lighting, and his clothes are further illuminated in this kind of like lantern light that glows through. And he wears very simple clothes now, just a poet blouse that hangs open far enough for you to see that sternum scar that is on his pectorals. Yeah. And it's black, and he wears leather textured pants that are also black, and laced up boots. And he has that cloak around his shoulders, the one that is very familiar to you, but the hood is folded down, and his blonde wispy locks are on full display. And his expression is not brimming with usual confidence. When you kind of blink that like light out of your eyes several times, you can get kind of a grip of what his face is doing, of how his features are dipping. And you see that his brows are drawn forward in a frown, and his lips are kind of downturned. And you hear him speak, and his voice sounds out in this like dark room and in the dark nature of this space. And he still kind of stands in mostly shadows as he speaks. And he doesn't meet your eye. He hasn't looked up whatsoever. He's just kind of staring down at the floorboards of this house. And his voice comes out a little bit broken, a bit raspy and hoarse. And you very just softly hear him say, "Everything is so quiet." And he's looking down, and he still has that rag covering one of his eyes, but you can see the red glint in the one that is revealed. And he doesn't say anything else. He just says, "Everything is so quiet," as he stands there. And he doesn't move.
And her voice is cold, like cutting from her.
Fair.
I feel like, and the light is still kind of shining on her, and she's like looking up at him, just the silhouette.
Yeah.
Very dim colors that she can see. And she looks up at him. She's like, "Here for a victory lap?"
You kind of hear the floorboard creak a slight bit, almost as though he like shifts his weight, but he doesn't move. And his voice sounds almost like far off, like his mind is kind of far off. And he very gently says, "I thought I'd be grateful to be left alone with my thoughts, to be free of anyone else's, but now I feel like I am hardly thinking. And nothing drowns out the silence, not even mindless chatter. How disgusting is it, shrub, that I cannot function properly without the presence of another filling my head with distractions." And he does fully turn to look at you now. And like, you can't really see him looking, but you can see his head turn in your direction.
And she is just over 24 hours without sleep.
Yeah.
Bags
Fair.
under her eyes.
Fair.
Still in the same clothes. Since her little dip in the pool. And she just looks up at him. She's like, "It's understandable. Centuries of roommates. It's bound to feel a little lonely being cut loose."
It is not loneliness that I feel. I feel hopeless. As though it was all gearing up for this one big thing to be free, and yet still I fear that even if I get what I want, I will feel the same.
You can never run from yourself. In the end, she's gonna push up to her feet. Can I clock him? Can I see if he's bullshitting me right now?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Can I get advantage because I know him, or no? Just a straight roll.
You can get advantage in this situation because
really? Oh
yeah,
my God.
because I'll be completely honest, he's not trying to put up a front in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a 5, a 1, and a 6, so that is an 11.
Damn.
Motherfucker.
When you get to your feet and you clock him and you kind of see more of him in the light now, he looks absolutely wrecked. Like he genuinely looks broken. He genuinely looks like devastated. And there's this just like sinking look in his features that is not something that he could falsify. Is not something he could pretend, essentially. Yeah, he's being completely honest, and it in that way that he seems very distant, almost as though he doesn't really realize exactly what he's doing, that he's standing here like spilling,
he's lost
these like vulnerabilities. Yeah essentially
a little vindictive nature in her, just from the day. Dies, just a very short death.
It's fair.
As she just very slowly like prowls towards him.
Yeah.
And she's looking at him. She's looking at him.
Yeah.
After the read he gave her the other day. Fucking, actually, no, like a few hours ago.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
And he's growling.
He literally got what he wanted and then called her back like a couple hours later to be like, I'm sad.
Because he literally has no one else to go to. Like he knows.
Yeah,
no
I'm
one.
not. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just like
it's been
throwing it out there.
This man could not go an hour.
I mean, it has been a couple, but yeah.
It has been a couple. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
It's been at least like 4 or 5, but still.
Oh. She is standing like a foot or 2 away from him. And she's like looking up at him. What was the last thing he said? Just before I clocked him.
Fuck.
It was something like
he was saying about how like he doesn't think it's loneliness. It's that like you basically were kind of insinuating that it's like you said all you have in the end is like yourself. You can't run from yourself.
You can't from yourself.
And that was the last thing. He didn't say anything to that.
Okay.
And he does let you like walk that close up to him. He doesn't like move. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't. But he has not met your eye yet. He's still just like staring down at the floor.
She's gonna look to him and be like, "Look at me."
He does, very slowly. And it's just that one eye that like darts up.
She's gonna raise her hand up, move it out, and cup his face very gently.
Okay.
And
do you cup the side that's like battered and broken with the rag over it, or do you cup the other
She
side?
goes other cheek first.
Okay.
Bare cheek.
Bare cheek.
And her hand kind of hovers a bit.
Mhm.
So it kind of ghosts over at first.
Yeah.
And then she lets it kind of like go against it and like cup
Fair.
it very gently as she's
Mhm.
like looking up at him. After all that was said and done, I could never hate you.
He looks at you and he frowns. He just very softly says, I know.
Is that why you came here? Kind of fucked up to tell a girl you're going to hunt her down for sport, and then show up on her door a few hours later.
I can't kill you.
Can't? I don't want to.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. But I think I know the answer.
He kind of blinks, kind of frowns, and then like he like grabs your wrist for a moment, and it's like his skin is tangible. It is not blooded and anything. I think this is the first time he's like actually touched her too.
Touched
Yeah. And he just like grips your wrist for a moment and like pulls it away. And like looks at you. I should not have come here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he kind of like looks away, like kind of takes a step back. And like you see him like retreating. Like which way? Who fucking knows? But he's just fucking retreating.
Backing up.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna step after him.
Mm.
As
And
he
he's
goes
still in the
back.
corner, so there's not many places he
Yeah.
can go. He's
That's
like he's like a fucking animal being backed into a fucking corner right now.
Mhm.
And he kind of like moves back, and like his back kind of hits the wall for a moment, and he has that like far off look in his eyes again as he's just staring down.
She's gonna meet him like halfway there. Enough that she's the same distance as she was beforehand.
Okay.
And she's gonna like look up at him and be like, in all seriousness, the last thing I wanted was to force you into another deal. You told me to be selfish, and I was undoubtedly so, like you said. I just think I was too scared to believe that you would think of me as equal enough to visit me after we were done, you know? But I know people leave. It is natural. You cannot force a person to stay in your life and think you are equal. I want us to be equal. No deal. I don't want your power. I don't crave it. If you give it willingly, I will accept. If you give your company willingly, I will accept. You see me so thoroughly. Every part, every dark part, every good part too. And you like it. Please tell me you like it.
Anyone who doesn't just isn't looking hard enough. I just wanted to mean something for a fraction of a moment to someone.
You do. You mean so much to me. So much that when I am selfish, I think only of you. And I will find a way. I will free you from this deal. Or we can make another one. Something life-binding for me. We could be equal. If that is what you want. Or I will find a way out. And then you can choose after that if you want to associate with me or not. I'm giving you an out, Tobias. If you want it.
You see him kind of like, probably for the first time in any interaction you've ever been with him, he has no words. Like, he is like lost for words. He is the guy who would like go against God trying to have the last word, and he genuinely has no fucking words. He is just like standing there, and you see his lips like opening and closing and opening and closing. Fucking jazz. Opening and closing and opening and closing, and like trying to think of something to process. Just like, I leave for 3 seconds.
And that's how you fucking do it, ladies and gentlemen.
That was
No, it is not. You
Do
can
not let
stop
this go to your head.
fucking
Do not let this go to your head.
no.
Listen
Listen to
this entire. I watched the entire
excuse
thing.
me.
Was that all I hear?
That was a
hearing.
no, but let's all be serious here. That was a fucking performance. Holy shit.
It was though. It was.
Me
though.
and-
I was
Me
right.
and Tobias are lost for words. He
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. Nah.
he,
Go ahead.
he
Yeah, no.
takes a breath for a moment, and he like looks at you, and he shakes his head. What makes you think that we are not equals? Is it because I'm an eldritch being, self-proclaimed?
Self-proclaimed. But that is why I want your company. That is why I like your company now. When I speak to you, I get no bullshit. I get no, you could be good, Andromeda. You could be the best triad there ever was. Smile nicely, do all the right things.
I do not take it upon myself to lecture people on who they should be.
Rain asked me once.
His eyes just, like, he's looking down, his eyes just dart up to you at the name, just instantly. And there's just
She
this,
raises
like,
her hand like, chill. Chill out.
He just looks at you.
And you were privy to this? I think. I'm assuming. In that room, at 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐻𝐽, when I called upon him. He asked me once, is it the vessel or is it the soul that I like about you? At the time, I had no answer. I did not know you, other than you were a pretty face. Now I have an answer. It is the soul I saw my brother holding you in his hands, and it was the purest light I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm unwell. Give me a moment. You know what you're doing right now.
I might pull this off.
She's fucking wowie.
Blushing?
Not for Aria and Arlow, she won't.
No.
He takes like an intake of breath, and it is like shuddery and like a bit shaky.
She steps an inch closer.
He just kind of looks at you and like frowns and shakes his head a moment. You dig yourself into a hole, and there is no light at the bottom.
Is that what you see this as? A hole?
This is what your friends see this as. This is what
I know.
the world sees this as. Any interaction with me is darkness and brutality.
Then why do I feel so light on the inside when I look at you?
Perhaps you should get that checked. He quirks a smile, but it instantly disappears. Like, it just falls flat. He's like... I don't have anyone else. I don't... I don't know how.
I know. We are two lost beings, as dramatic as that sounds. But I'm prone to that. Yet I see you. And you see me. Do you see me?
You're aware that I do.
Quite.
He takes a breath.
If you are worried, I am playing a game with you. If this has been a game all along, I assure you it is not. I am deadly serious. This is not a game you can lose, nor I. This is real.
I don't understand. I don't.
It's as clear as day to me. It is more than light. I don't have a name for it, and I'm too scared to put a label to it. But it's something more than that.
He has to kill me.
I heard.
That is how you fix your walking green flag. He has to take that blade to my heart and pierce it through.
What a coincidence. For I have grown rather fond of that heart. What a shitty twist of fate. And I curse it. I hate it. I've had a rather long day. I have not slept in a full day at this point.
I will leave you to your dreams then.
She's gonna step even closer.
Everyone else watching this with their fucking popcorn right now.
And her hand is gonna kind of like lightly ghost up his chest. Not in a weird way.
Well,
That's
Trying to
weird
read into
either way.
it.
no, it's
It's
not.
weird no
It's
matter how
not
you
weird.
say it.
I'm not saying it's an actual weird way. I'm just saying you can't gently caress somebody's chest in a
Right.
non-normal
casual-
way. In a casual way.
Uncasual,
How-
not weird,
Okay,
but
fine.
just not casual.
Casual, fully intimate way,
Yeah.
and it's like from the and up, whatever.
Yeah.
That feels.
No, she's
Very
raising
good.
him up right now, and she's doing amazing.
No, she is.
Him.
He is doing
No,
a great
I need to
job.
validate
This
this working.
scene- No, let me validate. Let me validate.
It's
Yeah.
so-
Scene
No,
is
you're
incredible.
doing an incredible.
You
are both
came
doing
with
an incredible
fucking hands.
job.
I feel like I don't even know how to play this, but I'm trying my best.
You both are doing great. You both are doing
God
incredible.
damn.
You're doing
God
amazing.
damn. God damn.
And Drama's gonna
Yep,
run with
you're both
this
doing great.
so hard. It's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Yes,
Listen,
she is.
And
She needed this, actually.
Yeah, honestly, this is a
Oh my
W.
oh my god.
Okay.
It's not,
Okay.
obviously it's not like
No,
great
no,
for
no,
you guys,
no,
but like,
no, 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 no,
yeah.
No, oh my god,
no.
no.
yeah, but it's a W in Andromeda's book.
It is
Um,
a W
I mean,
in
she's
Andromeda's
playing.
book.
She's
Yeah.
playing the game.
She's
That's a
slaying.
W in
It's
Haley's
definite-
book.
Yeah,
Haley's
that
doing
too.
amazing and hitting
That
us out of the
too.
park right now.
Hell yeah,
She's
hell
doing
yeah.
amazing.
You're fucking, everything you've
Not
been saying is so
over yet.
poetic. I'm like, holy fuck.
I don't know what's happening.
That's
I
great.
I don't.
You
Keep it
missed
going,
him,
baby.
that's all.
Keep
You
it
just
going.
missed
Keep
him.
it going. Keep it going.
I'm surprising
That's
myself.
what that's like.
I was
like, keep going.
Yeah.
going.
He, when you do this with your hand, he just like, his eyes drop to it, but then they drop to yours, and they like do not move from your eyes. Like they are like glued to yours.
Mm-hmm. And her hand kind of goes up, curls over his shoulder, moves, goes up past his neck, kind of goes a little bit into his hair, just a little bit, and then goes back and cups his cheek one more time.
You, as you do that, as you move your hand, he like, you feel like a tension like drop slightly from like his stance, like where he's standing, and you see his eyes almost like flutter for a moment, because you can assume that he has like not felt a touch like that in how fucking long.
And it's
And
gentle.
he-
It's very light. Her
is-
thumb is kind of moving in circles around
Yeah.
his cheek and stuff. And
And he just like, his lips almost like quiver for a moment, and he like shuts his eyes like momentarily before he like meets yours again, and they are
And-
much softer now.
she's holding him, and then she's gonna, with the lightest pressure, like an invitation, gonna kind of move it, but like try to like pull his face with it. But he's
Okay.
fully able to break away if he doesn't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah.
He's fully able to not move with it. But
He like lifts a hand for a moment and like does the same thing again, but I imagine it's like the opposite hand this time. And he like holds like your forearm where it's like kind of up, and like pushes back against it, and just very softly, and it is like a very broken whisper, very softly says, just don't.
I won't.
He nods his head.
Not unless you want to.
That is the
Shut
problem.
her.
Sorry, was that you, Finn?
Sorry. That was me.
I was like, what just happened?
At that, she starts to move it away.
Yeah.
Moves it back. She's like,
Yeah. He like nods, and he like looks at you, and he very just like softly says, there is no turning back. There is no exit. There's nothing.
After all I've said, I think I wish to exit.
No. With me.
I know who we speak of.
I cannot. I cannot close the gap.
Do you wish me to?
Only if you know what you are walking into. With full intention.
I would gladly take that leap. I won't even look first. I won't even hesitate.
He is just staring at you.
And she moves and grabs his face and kisses his ass. Kisses him so hard.
God damn, God damn, God damn, God damn.
Pushes it up against the wall.
God damn, God damn, God damn.
Not violently.
No, softly.
But with passion.
With purpose, like he asked for.
With purpose.
He's fucking terrified for his entire life. Whew, wowie.
Andromeda just became a man-eater before our eyes.
Yep. Damn right.
Make him work hard. Make him sweat hard. Make him work hard.
Literally. Aria and Arlo. Fucking Aria and Arlo. Oh, shit.
We're going with Dimitri across the hall, about to have a very
stressful night.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Ooh, wow. Well, it feels like I'm watching a TV show and a ship that I really liked just happened. And so I'm like, oh, cool.
It feels like one of my crack ships that I never thought was going to sail just sailed against all odds.
Against all odds.
You see this.
Goddamn.
No.
Oh. Like the writers themselves descended from the heavens and pushed these two characters together.
Well,
after pulling strings.
Oh,
for a season.
Well.
Did he kiss me back?
Oh yeah. And it's very. It feels purposeful, like evenly. But there is like something intertwined that feels like tentative, like nervous almost.
It's been a while for him.
It has, but he does a great job.
But hey,
if you need the context,
that's great.
He does a great job, and I like to imagine for Andromeda, this is a vastly like different experience than like Mud and Darian and Aaron, and even like the moment you almost kiss Zephyrus, ow, and Vin, and it feels different. And I feel like for her, it feels like what it's like, how it's written in books, in like books where it's made out to be this like grandiose thing that's like addictive and all consuming and like intoxicating. And it feels like that. And it feels like that in a way that it has never felt like with anyone else that she's been with. And it's whether it's just the like pure notion of like their connection of how well they see one another, even though it hasn't been very long, even though there hasn't been much time of like bonding, I guess. It was immediate. Like it was that immediate kind of like intensity. Yeah. And it feels like that. And I imagine when he pulls away, it's very like, it's just the moment of like silence, like sitting in the intensity of the moment.
Like a murder was just committed and now two people are staring at each other while the dead body's between them.
Yeah, damn right. Wow. God, you're on fucking fire. The fuck?
I read that.
Holy shit.
Huh.
What is happening? What was in that tea? What is
don't-
happening?
I think the coffee is doing like the thing it was supposed to like hours ago.
The coffee kicked in 8 hours later, and
Haley's doing
holy
it.
howdy, is
You're
doing its work.
that fucking Riz
And
out the
she-
fucking wazoo.
Is looking at him, and her hand is still on his cheek.
Yeah, yeah.
Her other hand, the scarred side hand, the bandaged side hand, the little fabric one,
Yeah.
is gonna slowly, and it's the fucking blood packed hand, bitch.
Yeah,
And she's gonna move it, and she with love, obviously with love. Oh my god,
blood packed hand, bitch.
and she moves it to the fabric,
Mm.
and she starts pulling it back.
His hand slides up instantly and holds
Okay.
it on your hand, and he just looks at you. He shakes his head.
Are you not ready for me to see?
Not just yet.
Okay. I won't hate it. But you already know that.
I'm learning slowly.
Me? You? A self-proclaimed eldritch being, centuries old, is still learning.
Eldritch beings have plenty to learn. I never said I was all-seeing.
So I'm learning.
I know how to be modest.
Oh, you surprise me every day.
Mm. He kind of like frowns at himself and then like drops his arm. like he's kind of like, what the
And she lets her
fuck?
hand drop too.
He's like,
And she lets her hand pull back from his cheek.
Fair.
Lets it drop back to her side.
And he just is like staring into the abyss for a moment. I'm sorry.
What for?
Did
you not like it?
No.
Was I bad,
that,
sir?
No, that it's not.
Should I slip you a little bit of tongue? I was waiting on that one.
Next time.
There will be a next time?
I did say you must do it with intention.
And with intention I did.
He just he like quirks a bit of a smile. He nods and he says, I'm trying to be vulnerable. I am sorry
Everything.
for not
Oh, say that. Say that again.
shrub.
Sorry, I'm pushing it. I'm definitely pushing it right now.
I didn't wait.
Sorry.
I didn't wait.
For what?
For you to give me the word to show up. I just showed up.
I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
Patience is not your virtue.
It's going to happen again.
Good. That doesn't scare me.
He kind of looks away.
You don't scare me.
He smiles to himself. Well, like I said, there's no turning back, so I do wish you luck when you eventually inform your friends. You know, that you like me and all. Though I think they probably know by now.
And she's gonna move a hand up and push a hair back, and there's a flower.
Cute. Very.
And she's gonna kind of like twirl it around her finger.
He's just
And then she's
looking
gonna-
at it because I don't think he really knows what it means, but he's just looking at it. He's like,
She's gonna pluck it out of her hair very gently.
mm.
She's gonna reach up, tuck it behind his ear. That is yours. I'm yours.
His whole demeanor just like he just zeroes in on you. His like brows kind of furrow a moment. I will take that with me and dwell on it significantly.
Do so.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go eat. quite famished. Especially after that. And she's gonna turn and strut over to the corner. Oh, she's gonna stop for a second, actually. She's like, are you cool letting yourself out? Or do I need to walk you to the door?
I don't think you want me to go downstairs.
No.
No.
Please find another way. Ooh, it's kind of secretive. You're like creeping out the window.
Shrub.
What?
What do I do about the quiet?
When I was in the garden, I was alone with the quiet. Centuries. I thought of touch. The feeling of someone beside me. The feeling of eyes looking at me with care. I kept my mind there for a while. And suddenly the quiet didn't feel so empty anymore.
I do not have that to dwell on. I have no fond memories of touch up until this point.
Then you will have to recycle this point a few more times until we may add to that more. And the blood vial. I will call you through it whenever. Don't pick up those times, because it is more like reassuring you I am here. I am thinking of you. Well, that is good. I will do it whenever I'm thinking of you. I like that.
I think
Which is
there might be a chance that you are some sort of eldritch being.
Wouldn't that be a surprise? I've been called worse. Can I go eat now?
Yes. And he
Thank you.
you just see him like turn, and he just vanishes as he turns.
And as he goes,
Instantly.
she watches him go, and she's like, "Bye bye," and she's gonna turn and walk.
He's just gone. He's fucking gone. Wow.
Okay, let me work through this. Give me a sec. So let me just. Okay, I'm gonna take Arlo out for a second. He's over here. I'm placing him over here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look away from him. I'm not gonna look at him.
Okay.
That was an incredible scene, and you both
Arlo.
fucking killed it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Arlo's
Killed it.
he's not in the building right now.
Correct.
Amazing scene.
Neither is Whit.
I ate that up.
Yes.
Exactly what Jade did, which is like, it was like, oh, I don't remember if it was there, Jade, but it was like that scene, like finally watching the show, and that like it was just that pinnacle of like the season finale. Yes. Oh my god, and it was so good.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna rewatch that.
I wasn't talking too much, right? I
No.
wasn't talking too much.
Don't-
Okay, I
No,
didn't
but it
know.
was
Don't start.
That was the
beautiful.
point.
that
though.
was
I
what
think,
was
like,
good. Yeah, because
That was what was good. Like that's what he
he
needed.
wanted that.
Like, he
Yeah,
needed to talk.
yeah.
And he needed to not have the quiet.
And that's
needed
the thing. He
answers.
was standing there
Exactly.
like frowning at the ground because he hadn't really gotten past that like silence in his mind, and so her just like
Right.
talking and
Filling
like
it.
filling it was like so
Also, he's
satisfying.
like an
to
empty
him.
cup right now, and she's like
Filling it up.
molding that.
Ooh.
Pouring it with her stuff.
The bit with like Idona, the whole like you guys were saying about does he not have the memories of like fond
Yes,
touch or whatever?
please.
He never like, I guess to give context, he was never like
He has a freaking tattoo of her.
like that with Idona, where it was like hugging and
like
things like that.
Understood,
it was like
understood.
it was like
No,
a
it was
it
more
was
like
a
painting
it was a
and-
mental connection. Yeah, it was like
Personal.
a
Okay.
emotional connection. He
Sure.
was so detached from reality
fair.
that like all he could use was like words to connect. Like there was no
Yeah.
there was no way to be physical. He didn't even really know how, because he had been like reborn from just nothing.
All he knew was like
Yeah.
pain and torture
Yeah.
and experiments and stuff.
So he like knows the softness of like a person, but he doesn't have any fond memories of touch. He doesn't remember what it feels like to be touched delicately. It has only ever
That's a
been
first for him.
by a scalpel or
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Andromeda, before she ever made any kind of advance like that on him, she wanted to like clear the playing field. She's
Yeah.
like,
That
want
turns
to
the
be
tables
equal.
for me. And that
yeah.
was me under the influence, because she took it back.
That's true.
And she took it back in such a good, beautiful,
Mm.
meaningful, and like honest way.
And
Like
that's
she was,
why
she was being
he
totally authentic,
Yeah.
which is what they
Yeah.
both needed.
and that's what gave him the path to be vulnerable too. He was like, okay, like she genuinely means that. Like she means that. And you were saying all the like right things, and I was so scared at the
You
beginning.
said all the right things.
I was so scared at the
You
beginning
did.
when
You
you were talking
really
about
did.
like the vindictive like little bit of her, and I was
yeah,
like,
that's what I was
I
worried
know.
about.
I was
thought
so
you were gonna
scared
push
because I
him
was
away,
like,
and
I was like, oh
this
no,
is-
if you push him away now, like I don't know if there's any
It
hope for
won't.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
And
was
it was
like-
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
it was that,
Shouldn't
no,
have
the
been
tired
there, and then it was like-
exhaustion weighing on her,
Yeah.
but then she saw, and she was like, is he bullshitting me? Is he trying to
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah,
you
And
know,
when
is
he was-
trying to
that moment.
rub it in my face,
Yeah.
like whatever.
And the moment of like oh, I shouldn't have come here kind of vibe. Like I shouldn't have like done
Yeah,
that.
like
I
him
feel
pulling
like
away, I feel like snapped her to being like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, no, hey,
it's like,
hey,
oh
hey.
shit, yeah. Because
He
that
cared.
that would have been like his moment of vulnerability, and then he would have been like, okay,
Never again.
yeah, never
That
again.
was like the
Oh,
last
absolutely.
one.
Yeah.
Like it was like
It
the
was.
last
It
straw.
was.
And the reason he was so like he came to her so
Oh my
immediately,
gosh.
even after a few hours, is because he has been like his head has been busy for centuries.
Yeah.
That he is
Yeah.
now like isolated with only his thoughts for a few hours. He's like, this is fucking torture.
I love that he broke in
Yeah.
like a couple hours though. That's so
Yeah, he couldn't do it. It was like
it makes sense. It makes sense, but it's
It makes-
still
no,
a
but it
little
makes
bit like
yeah,
sense.
No, it
because
makes
he's
so much sense, yeah.
he's so like not used to thinking for himself. Like it's
Yeah,
that
it's
vibe
fair.
of like
It's
you're
so
just
funny.
living in an existence and you're hearing other people's thoughts like in your mind constantly. Like he's hearing
Yeah.
Calypso's
Also, it
thoughts.
seems like the part of himself that he was even like conscious of, like, and interacting with, was anger.
yeah,
And so now that he's away, it's like he has all this room
He's
for anything
feeling
else, and he
everything
doesn't
else.
gotta fill it.
Exactly.
100%.
you fucking get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, can I
get it.
say something? Listen.
I get
No,
it.
no, no. Yeah, I'm just saying. You guys explain it
I
well.
love Tobias so much.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that he's so
True.
interesting, and I think he has such vulnerable complexities. And I love
Absolutely.
Andromeda so much. And I think it's
Absolutely.
nice
Favorite
to
characters
see
for
her
Yeah.
acting of directness
Aw.
and honesty instead of desperation,
did
because
great.
I think
Yeah.
that the
You did great.
deal thing was
Mhm.
like this
Oscar-worthy
desperate attempt
performances.
to have something and,
Yeah.
and not ever like go away from her, instead of just kind of working towards what that could be organically.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think that if she takes that and even applies it to the gang, it's gonna start that rebuilding process.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah.
it was like losing it only to like gain it back shortly after and realize like okay, like you can fix that. Like it is fixable.
Yeah.
It's okay for someone to leave because sometimes they do come back. And that was the situation with
Yeah.
Tobias. Like Tobias just came back like only
Yeah.
a few hours later. And it was like this devastating thing where it was like, I've lost him. He's gonna fucking kill me. Like
Mhm.
all of
Yeah.
this to just
I also love
him
that Tobias told her about like mud, like
that's what I was about to
being,
say.
like,
I was
Yeah.
I was
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was so good that he cleared
I was
the
lit
air,
about
like,
that.
like he
Yeah.
reciprocated and like cleared the air for her as well, and being like,
I agree.
and
And
here's
she's
what
like-
you originally wanted. This is the information that I have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was
It's
also
like, if
him
we're really- if we're
trying to
releasing
like
from our deals,
I think
like,
trying to
it's
push
all out in the
her
open.
like putting it out there in case that's like the ticket that she's like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't want to fucking deal with you. Like he was like I'm
Yeah.
I'm putting
Like, let's
it out
put it on
there.
the table then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna inevitably have to kill you.
Yeah.
Like she's like, but no, she was like, well, that sucks because
Yeah.
I really want the heart.
That was such a good line.
Line drove me freaking insane.
That was crazy. That was
Wowee.
fucking crazy bonkers.
Yeah.
I hope that
Chat was
helps
going
Andromeda
sicko mode.
kind of go walk away from this. Like I feel like it's been such a theme for her to be like, well,
Yeah.
you should hate me. You should hate me. Like you
Right.
should
This
like
will
be
be
like
kind
yeah,
of
100% where it's
from
like
that
well, now
energy.
she realizes that people and everybody is like, okay, I'm sticking around. So what now? Like what are we
Yeah.
gonna do now?
So what are we
So, like
gonna-
let's not just dwell.
And
let's
the
move on.
revelation too with that like Tobias doesn't hate her. And it
No.
was
Yeah.
like, and that was what he portrayed. It felt like
Sure.
he was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, you know,
But also, it was like
Yeah.
you see all the parts of me, like the bad parts and the good, and he's like,
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't is like blind or whatever, or not looking
Yeah.
at something.
I was proud
"Ooh."
of that one. Anyone who doesn't, I think it was like anyone who doesn't listen hard enough doesn't. I don't know.
It was really good though. But
It was
so good.
something.
Guess
I'm
what?
sorry
We figured
for
out what we
my
rewatched.
reaction throughout it was
No, it's
too hard.
okay.
Yeah,
I
oh
was.
my God.
At all.
I was figuring it out. I was
It was
having the time
shock.
of my
It was
life.
Me
I
and
was
Yeah,
Bob
yeah,
were
yeah.
in, we were in
Adjustment.
disbelief.
Yeah.
I was
You
there
were
for a second.
Yeah.
I laugh when I panic, and I like laugh when I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So
Right.
like I get that.
The second that Andromeda started saying the right thing.
And also Arlo was
I'm
there. Like
Yeah.
Arlo was there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Aria was there.
yeah.
Guys
Yeah,
are
yeah.
Wit
in a second.
is not, but I am.
Wit's always is a kind of like is a neutral mediator, grounded type of person,
I'm
which is why
excited
she
for
went to me
him.
first this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that was the right
Yeah.
way to do it, though. It was correct.
Yeah.
And
I'm
she
excited
went
for
for
when
it.
he brings up that
It was good.
flower because I think that'll be interesting. An interesting.
Oh,
detail.
Yeah. Well, especially now that he
I
knows
don't talk
about
about that Andromeda.
Echo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
it's
think
moving versus,
Rain
like-
being like Tobias killed Echo quite literally point blank. Changed that a little bit actually.
Mm.
Like he's not so in the middle now. He's
Mediator.
just
Trying to lead in a direction.
Yeah. A direction.
A negative
Obviously, you
direction.
don't know all the details, but like just hearing that is like, oh fuck,
It's like-
hell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm
At
more
least
involved
calls
than I
for
thought
more
I would
information.
be,
he's
definitely.
less willing
Yeah.
to
That calls for more information.
Trust
Yeah.
blindly,
give
kind
him,
of
like
vibe.
more credit, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. That
It's
is
gonna
fair.
take a little bit more work to like
That was
earn.
actually bonkers shit crazy.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no idea. I'm gonna need to sit on that for the next 4 days. Business.
That was
Yeah, that was awesome.
freaking
That was
masterpiece.
crazy.
How are you
You were
doing,
incredible.
Theo? Because I know that we're getting up there. I can do you next
We're
also
chilling.
if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a bath after anyways since my legs
Oh
get
my
really
God.
sore and we're out
Oh,
of Tylenol, and I
same,
can't
same,
sleep when that
same.
happens. And so my
Dude.
thought is we do me, and then I go in the bath and mute,
And
like I
Oh,
just turn it
yeah,
off,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just bring it with
Yeah,
me,
we can do that. We can do that.
and then I
Yeah,
type
good.
reactions.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I'm so down for that.
Well, Haley,
I know we got bath time.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I will be canonically in the bath.
That's cute.
I
That's
was
cute.
romancing all of you. I was romancing the audience.
You were.
Yeah, it's
Chat
true.
chat
It's
was
true.
like, chat was like,
Super
they're so.
Awful.
Comment said they're so addicted to each other, and then
Yeah.
someone said, "Is this a fever dream? What is going on right now? What did I come into?" I'm literally shocked emoji. Damn,
This-
Buff and D are feeding us today,
This plays like a drabble. It's real,
does.
but it's real, guys.
but it's real.
It's real. It's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forest fire is raging.
It is.
Wow, I love that. Comment also said, "Don't bring a blanket to the bath for Arla."
Yeah,
I'm
don't do
gonna bring
that.
you a blanket.
I don't want to
Bring
find
it
you.
in my blanket, please.
Arlo, we
You
will
can't tell me what to do.
We will slide to you then. We will slide to you, buddy.
You have no clue. Let's do it.
I think you should be.
Arlo.
Cool. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Thank you.
Again, like Wit trusts Arlo. I trust you to be able to like freaking say the right things.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
You got this.
Arlo, as sleep finds you, it is a
My
moment
AirPods
or
are gonna
so.
die.
Oh.
Oh no, we're good. I was just
Okay,
making sure
cool.
my AirPods.
That is fair, that's fair.
Thank you.
You drift into that dark abyss for a moment, the dark abyss of sleep, before eventually, with, unsure of how much time really passes in this moment, your eyes are fluttering open once more. And they are fluttering open to the sight of that long corridor of the 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐪 halls. And you see that the first door and the third door are kind of like ajar, as though like reminders that they've been opened. Whereas that second one kind of sits there and beckoning. And as you step in and you stand in this silent, eerie hall, this like endless hall, you do not hear anything. You see the same good and bad sides. You see everything as it once was, as it was the night before, but you hear no voice and you feel no presence. There is no 𝐂𝐿𝑖𝐽 in sight as you stand there.
Okay. I'm so sad.
You are left alone in this corridor with all of these doors, just waiting.
Okay. I think he will still speak as if she is listening.
Fair.
Even if she's not. Okay. Holy shit.
You got this.
Holy shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. I think he'll call out for her first. Like,
okay.
So he'll just be like, 𝐂𝐿𝑖𝐽?
When you
and, like, start to
do,
panic.
yeah, your voice like echoes. So you hear like your voice like 𝐂𝐿𝑖𝐽, and then it just like fades off.
Jesus.
Yeah. And it's like that kind of distorted echo like in your mind, not as though you're like it's echoing around you, but it's echoing like in your head almost.
Yeah.
Not like a kind of cathedral echo or anything like that, just in your mind. And you hear nothing. You see no movement. You feel no presence.
He probably takes a beat too. We're both wondering. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're watching or if I'm just talking to a hallway. But I'm worried about you. And I was hoping to see if you were okay, but I get it. I care about you, 𝐂𝐿𝑖𝐽. I know you might feel alone right now, and you don't need to show up, but if you need somebody, that is what my mind is for.
As you say this, you note that the second door on the bad side creaks open. But while it does, you also note that a few on the good side begin to creak open as well. And then a few more further down the bad side. And you hear these doors creaking as they open, just that like and it echoes through this hall, and you hear it like one after another down the entirety of the hall, this like endless chasm of doors just opening, but you can't see anything on the other end. They simply open, giving way to darkness on the other side. And they only open a fraction. They don't open all the way, just slightly ajar. But nothing more happens. There's no voice. There's no presence.
I'm scared. I'm scared if she's like letting me just have the memories and she's never gonna fucking come back. God damn it. Okay.
You got this. I believe in you.
No, I know. I'm sad. I'm sad. I wanted to see her.
So fair.
But I get it. Like, I fully get it. I don't think he could really say anymore. That was her response. Yeah. Okay. He probably says that too. He goes, okay.
Fair.
Yeah, okay. He goes to the next bad door.
Okay.
Where's my thumbs up?
Arlo, as you walk through that door, kind of, I imagine pushing it open fully now, it is kind of this like white light that blinds you for a moment before it pulls away and you're standing in front of Ulric's cabin. And you're watching the door. You're standing outside of the cabin, kind of in the area you know now that leads like up to the stairs where the door is, but you are just down below, just outside. And you are staring at it. And you watch as the door swings open, roughly, as it is shoved aside from the other end. And in a moment, your mind registers Rain before you. And he's tall and looming in his typical nature, and a slight bit older than you've seen him in other memories. And he doesn't look half as soft and untouched as he always did. His eyes are a paler shade of pink, and his skin is paler too, and there's deep gray bags beneath them, reading of countless days of missed sleep. He looks thin, far thinner than you've seen him before, and his cheeks are more gaunt and concaved, and his jaw is sharp. His hair is longer and white and slightly disheveled, as though he'd been running his hands frantically through it often. And he is leaving the cabin with a large satchel, almost like a duffel bag in a way, in his hands as he barrels down the wooden steps and just brushes directly past you. And you hear your own voice calling out to him as he whirls by, and your feet move of their own accord, following him eagerly. And you hear your mouth open to say, "Rain, what's going on? What is all this?" Followed by a, "Rain, what happened?" And you call after him, but you receive no response, simply staring at the back of the man's head as you follow, and his hair is cascading down behind him as he hurries off. And you follow him until he's pushing past Paradise's front entrance, past the greenery and the meadow there, everything pristine and beautiful. And he pushes through these glass fractals at a startling speed, and you hesitate in following him for a moment, before you kind of huff to yourself, like gather your wits, and you pursue him further. And you push through into that familiar meadow, simply far more luscious and full of wildflowers than you know it to be now, right outside of Paradise. And you see Rain beelining it directly for the portal that is in the middle of the meadow. And the stone frame of the door, the archway, holds that whirling opal sphere within. And it whirs and strobes with power as you both approach, Rain a fraction ahead of you. And your lips part again to speak, and you hear your voice say, "Rain, you've been off the grid for months. You've barely talked to me. What's wrong?" And you follow after him, saying, "Please." And before you can finish your sentence, your next sentence, just as Rain is nearing the door of the portal, the light flickering within crumbles away. And it flashes in a bang of light until it dissipates and vanishes entirely, leaving an empty doorway with no portal within. And Rain stops entirely in his tracks, his hand gripping his bag, and he takes a small step backwards at the sight, his expression dripping into something of shock and disbelief. And you watch him. You watch as his features crumple into something entirely hopeless, before he instantly falls to his knees in front of the empty doorway, heartbreak evident in his eyes as he stares wide-eyed at what was just a portal moments ago. And Arlo, you feel your heart stutter for a moment before you quickly move beside him, and you wrap a comforting arm around his shoulders without even thinking, and turn to study his face. After a moment of silence where he kneels, waiting for something, anything from the portal doorway, you watch his shoulders slump in defeat, and all at once he turns into your embrace, places his forehead against your sternum, and melts into your touch as though it's the very anchor keeping him grounded. And this you supposes it probably was. And you feel your own hands sinking into his hair, petting softly to comfort, without even realizing just on instinct, feeling the silk soft strands on your webbed fingers. And heavy breaths of what you interpret to be loose, broken sobs emanate from where his face hides in the length of your hair. And it is surely something momentous to hear from none other than Rain himself. And you stay like that for a moment, your menstruations constant as you comfort him, before you realize your hand is slowing to a stop. And you stare a moment before you begin to understand. The moment is paused from playing out, but Rain is still moving. You can interact with him, Arlo, in this moment.
Everyone's getting something. I'm fucking not right now.
I think they're
want
theorizing.
information?
They're theorizing, yeah.
Yeah.
We were theorizing about this, like what was happening just now.
Mhm. Yeah, you can say if you want.
We say it? Okay.
Clue.
The fact that this is the first
First
time
time the portals
that
closed.
they cut off, like
And
Rain was
Rain was
lost,
Oh, okay, that
and they
makes
cut
sense.
off Earth for Mostradel and the rest of the
That's what we were
realms.
saying.
It's
And
like
Rain
he
got
was trying to
stronger.
get back and like a second too late, which
And
is
he was
even
off
worse.
the grid for some reason.
So I think this is when he
wasn't-
like
Yeah.
went to the 11th realm. He came back different, and they got scared and they cut Earth off.
And then he came back. Yeah.
And I think he was trying to probably
back,
get back to
maybe?
Ostradel, I would assume.
It said in the textbook at one point that he went back down to Earth to grab a few things to like to gather himself, to
Yeah.
gather the stuff that he had below, but he
It was too late. He
It
was
was too late.
lost. That shit hurts.
Jesus Christ.
This is the first interactive bad dream.
Oh, no.
So the last thing
Good
that's
luck,
happened
buddy.
is that
You got
Arlo,
this.
You got this. You got this.
last thing is that Arlo stopped.
Your
think
your
it's-
hand was like in his hair, yeah, and you realized your hand was slowing because it was no longer on like replay, like instant replay. So it was like you were
okay.
coming to this realization of like, oh, I'm like in control of my hand now, like, and that's why it was slowing. Essentially.
I like that.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
I do like that too.
That was really
I
nice.
like
detail. I like it.
Boy, oh boy, how do I play this? All right, oh boy, oh boy. Is it okay if I take it as Arlo putting that together, or should I not?
Oh
Because I
yeah,
did-
100. Yeah, you can put that together. That's
Okay.
fine.
I all know that information.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. You have all that
I think Arlo would
information.
have it, even though
Yeah.
for us it's
About
been a
it.
while.
Smart
For Arlo,
yeah.
it's not been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because
Really
also think
smart
about it,
boy.
like we've
He's a smart
seen
boy.
these portals. I guess us like with
Yeah.
Aria, Arthur's
Also,
Andromeda
we're in the
supposed to be
capital,
now.
so that's
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
but like I think that if Arlo saw one of those portals working
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then stopped working, I think that
That's
would be enough of a
devastation.
thing for his
Yeah.
brain to be like, oh shit.
Okay, let me get my timeline right because I get messy sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's
Fair.
4:30.
Fair. I'm so
Which is no, by the way, so okay. And you're gonna say
You're-
something. I'm having a
Yeah.
fucking
Okay. Good.
blast.
Good. Yeah.
You're so good. Please
Okay, good.
believe in
I
me.
believe you.
Yeah. So okay, so it wasn't until after Calypso, right? That happened, or was that
It was
okay?
after-
Cool. So
after
Kai got
Calypso.
sent, and then Calypso got sent, and then it got cut in
So-
between because
Him
Yeah, tell me.
supposedly being off the grid, you could surmise that was when he was working with his dad to try and formulate a plan to get Calypso back.
right,
Because they're
and that's when he knew Jonah because that was
Yeah.
the whole after like
because
okay,
he went to accuse his father, and his dad was like, "Oh, don't you want your sister back? Like, don't you want
Right.
like,
Yeah.
did you want her to die?" and that kind of thing. And so Rain got kind of guilted into like, "No, he's right. Like, I need to help. I need to help Calypso."
right, of
And
course.
so he started kind of doing anything in his power to like become something to save his sister.
to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the elders cut off the connection because it was all getting just like out of control.
Yeah, and that was supposedly Tobias's doing, according to Ven.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is okay.
Mm-hmm. It all comes together.
All right, let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do.
Buddy.
Arlow,
When the puzzle pieces are finally like fitting together. Oh my gosh.
crazy. Jazz is sharp as a steak.
Attack.
That's me. I'm sharp as a steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking like the meat. Steak is smarter. Good
I
job.
was thinking like for vampires.
See, I'm there now. I'm in.
The meat.
Yeah, I thought that's
Sharp
what
as a
it
steak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
the
lie.
meat.
My head went to.
Can you
went to
tell
meat
I'm
too.
sharp as a
Good.
steak?
That makes more
You're
sense.
sharp as a steak.
Yeah.
Arlow. Okay, so Arlow takes his shoulders back,
are
and
them.
his
Yeah.
shoulders. He takes his shoulders back.
I get you. I know what you mean.
And goes and like kind of searches his face
Yeah.
and says, "You just missed it, didn't you?"
When he lifts his head, you see that his like pink eyes are rimmed with red, and they're kind of sore and swollen. And he looks a wreck. He looks like he hasn't slept for multiple days. He looks like he has not been eating, not been drinking. He looks a wreck. And he just kind of looks at you. And his eyes, like, he, like, shuts his eyes a moment. And swallows and, like, looks down. And he nods. Why wouldn't they hold it open for me? Why wouldn't they want me back?
Fuck me. Okay, give me a second. Okay,
You're fine,
okay.
you're fine.
I'm so sorry.
This shit
Fuck me. Okay.
fucking sucks.
Okay,
I
it's
can't
only
hear it.
rain. It's only rain there
It's
too,
just
right?
rain, yeah.
And we don't know why. It wasn't like they just did it because it was like fuck rain. We don't care. We're just gonna close
It
it
was
now,
like
right?
it was in a way they didn't really like keep an eye on where people were. It was like this
That's what I-
panicked it was a panicked moment of like shut it fucking down. And it was the elders against Ven. Like Ven was like kind of like hold on, and they just did
Yeah.
it without even her say so.
Okay, cool. Just wanted
yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being so.
Oh my
kind
God,
of me.
yeah. This is complex. You're fine.
No, I just I don't think they knew. I think it was just I don't think they knew.
They left me down here with him. And you see him get to his feet, and just like there's this like dawning like rage that just like falls over his expression, and he turns on his heel and he immediately starts beelining back towards paradise.
Okay, you fucking
You're
Arlo's running
following?
after him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably calling
and-
after him as well.
Yeah, fair. Fucking hell. And you watch him like push through those fractals of light through the glass, almost as it like kind of cracks aside, and it moves even quicker this time as he kind of like pushes it like you would push like a curtain out of the way, you know, as you're walking through.
Yeah.
And he like drops the bag on his walk, like the bag that was on his shoulder. He drops it, and you hear like as it hits the ground, you hear like the clink of like glass almost, or like potentially like bottles, like elixir bottles. Before you see him instantly moving back towards the cabin and climbing those stairs, and he just instantly pushes the door open. And you're still following him, I assume.
Yeah, I think Arlow like is pretty confidently following him. And then once he like reaches the stairs, he kind of like stumbles back really fast because
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm not ready to step foot in there, especially as it's in its heyday of like, this is not Hawks' place, this isn't old, this isn't like now,
This is
and this like
yeah,
this is it.
100%.
And he's not ready, but he does it anyway. So yeah.
So when you follow him in, you push. Bear with me. You push past the doors, like push past the door. And I imagine like Rain hits it so hard that it starts to close again, and you kind of have to push it back open.
100%.
Yeah, and as you walk
I can catch it.
in, yeah. As you walk in and you pursue Rain into the room, you see the tall, pale form of Ulric in the room. Sorry, everyone's reactions. And
Oh my god.
His hair is very similar to Orion's. It is black and long, and it is tied up kind of in the back. There's a few strands kind of hanging forward in his face. And he has dark stubble that lines his jaw. And he is, of course, not to you, but in retrospect, he is a handsome guy. I mean, his kids are fucking beautiful. And he stands there, and he looks positively outraged as Rain walks into the room. And it's almost like you see this, like, dawning realization on his face when he notes Rain returning to the cabin. And the sound of the dream falls muffled when your eyes settle on Ulric, Arlow. And it's almost like this tinnitus, this like a fucking flashbang, like this like high-pitched ringing in your ears as you see him and as you set your sights on him. And he looks, in every manner speaking, like Orion and Rain's father. He looks like the Ulric you would imagine. He looks like that little sketched portrait that Aria found. And his eyes are dark as he kind of looks at Rain. And he doesn't even seem to really acknowledge you. But you are just staring at him. And you hear everything in muffled volume. And you see that he's beginning to say something to Rain before Rain seems to say something back, short and sweet, with no emotion on his face, before Ulric is yelling, furious and fuming, and he is spouting words with so much force that his body is following his movements in this like jutting and frantic motion. And he's snapping words out at Rain. He is gesturing with angry fingers and hands. And you watch as Rain just stands and takes it. He doesn't move a muscle, doesn't interact, doesn't even show any emotion in this moment. And you see Ulric's lips turn up into a laugh, but in a way that it seems to kind of brim with amused rage. And you note the sound of Rain's voice, still muddled by the sight, muddled in your dream, and you see him beside you, but he speaks back to Ulric as soon as Ulric kind of laughs for a moment with something calm and distant, as though he's not really there, instead answering robotically. And you watch then as Ulric's eyes flicker to you, Arlow, and your anger upon seeing him now, knowing all that you do, is nearly blinding as it is deafening, and just like almost as though the outer banks of your sight is like turning white, like white hot. And Ulric's eyes are glued to yours, and his lips move to say something quick and brimming with fury. And it is still muffled. Before you, in a moment, without any sort of inclination, Rain steps between the two of you, glances at Ulric, and instantly slams his fist against Ulric's chest. And faster than you've ever seen before, just snatches cyan blue light from his chest and grips it in his fingers. And he holds it there a moment, and you watch as Ulric almost like says a few more words, still muffled, but weak. And you watch as these tendrils kind of climb out of Ulric's torso and finish off to collide into Rain's hand, dancing into the space there. And Rain, in a moment, moves towards the counter in the kitchen. Doesn't even doesn't blink, doesn't even move in any stunted way, just instantly reaches onto the counter, grabs a glass bottle, and just pushes the soul inside before he corks it closed and holds it in a fist. And he looks at his father as Ulric just falls, limp, to the floor, unmoving, eyes open but face expressionless. And Rain moves to look at you, Arlow, and you feel that tinnitus kind of fizzle out, and suddenly you hear once more. Suddenly that rage dissipates a fraction as you meet Rain's eye. And you feel your lips move again, without your own accord, essentially. And it's to say, Rain, what the hell is happening? But Rain merely moves aside. He looks you up and down a moment, swallows thickly, turns back to the counter, his eye kind of catching on something, before he reaches for it again, grabs for it in his other hand, opens it, and you hear him murmur out a broken, "I'm sorry," before he is tossing familiar herbs at your face, and your mind is fizzling to white.
Fuck off!
And you wake for a moment, gasping, sitting upward in panic. But you do not wake in the room in Ven's cabin. You wake to find yourself in paradise again. And you hear the trickle of a stream and the chirping of birds and the howling of the wind breezing through a canopy of trees. And it is paradise. How you got here, it's unclear, but your mind feels dizzy with the change of pace, the change of emotions, and you find yourself on your stomach, breathing in grass as it tickles your nose, before you slowly rise upward. And you're right beside the water, Arlow, the stream rippling by and past rocks before you. And with a single look around, you note how vibrant it all is, but more importantly, you note the lack of grave. Idona's wooden unicorn statue, from Hawks, her tree, and her white lilies, they're all gone. And you sit there a moment, amongst the subtle ambiance, muffled by your dreamy haze, and you're alone, in solitude, isolated in paradise without another in sight. That is until you hear the sound of what sounds like a door opening. And it clicks from behind you, swinging open with a creak. Do you turn, Arlow, when you hear the door opening? Mm-hmm. And when you do, you notice that it's opening in the middle of the meadow, with no foundation to give the door any realistic properties, simply appearing there. But it is familiar. It is those keyhorn doors that you see in that corridor. And it winds on its hinges as it opens, and a being steps through its frame. However, they are dainty and gentle, and you know instantly the moment your eyes freeze upon her. And long, wavy, lavender white hair, crystal clear blue eyes, and a starburst scar on her forehead, pale skin and dainty features, and careful, calculated steps into the mirage of paradise. And Idona stands before you, stepping through the doorframe, and the moment she does, she sees you and beams with frantic excitement, and her eyes instantly well with tears before she immediately sprints towards you, arms outstretched prematurely, only to instantly, the moment she's in front of you, wrap them around you. And she feels more real than she ever has in this moment. And you just hear her voice, as though this isn't anything crazy at all. She just says, "Hello, my gods, I've been trying to reach you for so long. Oh, I miss you so much.
Hi.
Did you see me open all the doors? I did that.
That was you?
That was me. I did it.
That's insane.
I know. I don't even know how.
How did you do that? You're here. How did you do that?
I don't know. And then I just opened this one, and here you are, just dozing off in fucking paradise. What the hell?
You're incredible.
I try. And she smiles at you.
And his hands are bloody because he was just gripping so hard. Not the fireworks.
Yeah.
That's our feeling, the fireworks.
Yeah, the fireworks, man. Goddamn.
And he's like, like his hands are shaking, and he just like wipes them away.
Fair. And she's just looking at you, just like up and down.
How long do I have with you?
I don't know.
You look great. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh. I've been here a long while, you know?
Yeah, you have.
Hmm.
Are you okay?
No, I've been trying to reach you, and every time I get a door shut in my face. I feel like I'm just opening doors. I'm opening doors and doors and doors and doors and doors. And finally I opened this one. And you were on the other side. And you're not just a memory, Arlo. You're like an actual Arlo. You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
You're talking to me.
Oh god, I've seen so many Arlos that just don't even look at me.
That's terrible.
Well, you know.
Well, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you so hard. Like I'm just staring at you.
Your eyes are so blue.
You're oh my god. Wow. I never thought.
Ooh, we hugged the other day, and I thought that maybe that was a step closer. So.
It was, and I knew that moment. I knew it was you instantly. I don't know if you knew that I knew it was you, but I did. I knew it was you.
I knew.
And that's why I hugged so tight. And you were the one in the beginning. You were the one who was there. We were having all this, and I was having the memories with you.
Yes.
And that was you.
Yes. That was me. I told you to run, and you did, and then.
I ran, and then I ran into your arms just now.
Well, I kind of ran into yours, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was in shock.
That's okay.
How do I keep you?
Oh, that is a good question.
I gotta stop doing this.
I think it's a thumbs, yeah. Oh, it's how you feel inside right now.
It's fitting for the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Keep going. It's so good.
She just kind of like looks you up and she's like, I have no clue.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll just keep opening doors because I mean this one worked. So
yeah,
I just keep trying.
You're incredible. You're so you fucking killed it. You fucking killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't even know what to say.
No, neither do I. And I feel like I've been thinking about what to say like every single time.
Sure.
And now I'm actually here and I'm speechless. So.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I don't like know so much, but now I know so much more now, and I just.
Well, it's okay. I know that your mind was a little for a little while. Yes.
Yeah.
But
fine. Everyone in my dreams keeps telling me I'm the same, so that's good.
Oh. Yeah.
Not the same.
No,
just a little bit the same.
I think honestly, you're more.
I love you. I
love you.
Wow.
Kai's not doing so good.
No. Oh my god. He's
just
been a kraken. He's just been a kraken.
Yeah.
He thinks I hate him, doesn't he? He thinks we all hate him?
No, I think he thinks you should.
Right.
I think he keeps trying to convince himself that you do.
And he doesn't know about you. Does he know about you?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's complicated. Calypso's told him in a way.
Okay. She's interesting about that.
Yes. I think
do you know?
I think he has.
Yes.
I think he has trouble believing that he's not a terrible monster that ruined our family.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna change that. We're gonna.
She starts like, yeah. I just start welling up as she's nodding. She's like,
Arlo just like cups her face.
She puts her hands on yours. She's like,
we're gonna figure it out. You got this far, and you're the one who's done this. You're the one who's fixing it all and bringing us all together.
I've just been opening doors for a century. No big deal. multiple centuries. You know,
You're thinking of it.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and our families, I have everyone set up so that we can just all be back together because I got everyone in paradise.
Oh my
and it's just you and Kai, but I can do that.
Okay, well that's so good. How are you gonna get me out if you know?
You think? Have a conversation? Probably not.
I should hope so.
I should hope so too.
Ooh. She's kind of she's not doing so good right now.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to stop the shattering, and I need to figure out the whole. Well, not you. You're not the answer. No, I don't know if there is an answer, and if there's not, then you're the answer because you're everything, you know. So we're just gonna get you out of here. We're just gonna get you out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's gonna be okay. And then we'll just figure it out and rebuild and tell Kai that we love him every single day until he fucking believes it. That's
I try to do that. But it doesn't actually come out because I don't have the motor skills, you know?
Yeah, but hey, you're getting there. You really are.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm really trying,
right.
You know?
Doing incredible.
Keep opening doors. I'll keep opening doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I get to keep seeing you? I want to keep seeing you so bad. I would love to keep seeing you.
I have to find the right doors.
Okay, hey, that's fine. Me too. This is an interesting door for you to have worked, but I'm glad it did. Because I hated.
Maybe the universe is just on our side, you know?
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Do you, ooh. Oh, yeah.
She just like smiles at you. She's like, how are you? How are you?
I'm doing it.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know anything about what's been going on with me for the past century or so?
I've opened a lot of doors.
Bad ones? Like real bad ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, some updates are that Cal's okay.
Okay.
And I have him, and he's quite different, but in a good way. It's like he knows that he can.
Ooh, like there's no more stick up as ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, absolutely. He needed that. He needed to loosen up a bit.
Well, it's one way to put it. It's nice because we hug every day, which is like in comparison, it's pretty crazy.
Hug?
He loves me. Yeah, he tells me he loves me. I kiss him on the forehead. It's crazy. I know, and I slept on his shoulder. It was awesome.
I used to do that to annoy him.
Oh, well, he won't be annoyed. He thinks about you every day, and we just talk about you, and he's gonna freaking flip over this soon. He's gonna think the whole. Okay. Oh my God. I just feel like I was given all the purpose in the world suddenly. Again, I've never felt like this in my entire life. Just to have you here.
I'm sorry.
I have a boyfriend.
Oh.
I don't have a boyfriend. I want.
No, sorry. That's so good.
Be honest.
No, it is. It is. No, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Why are you sorry? You have nothing to be sorry for.
I was an idiot. I was so blind to trust him, and I just.
No, we all trusted him. You're not an idiot. No.
I was the domino. I set everything off. If I hadn't have been so stupid and I had seen things clearly, then we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in this mess at all.
No, it was all the dominoes. No. It was an explosion, and there were no dominoes. It was just destruction. That's all it was. It was not anything. You couldn't have changed it. You really couldn't have. It was so much bigger than us. Somehow, some fucking stupid human made it way bigger than us. But it had nothing to do with you. You have to believe me.
Okay.
And I'll keep telling you that every day until you do.
Okay.
Okay.
I really want to see you. Like, for real, for real.
Yeah, me too.
It's not nice here.
No, I imagine not.
No.
I imagine it's very scary.
Mm.
Yeah.
You have a boyfriend? That's crazy.
Yeah. He's just a guy. He's gonna help me find you. I have people. We have a whole search team.
Well, then I look forward to meeting him. Obviously.
You'll love him, and he'll love you, and everyone loves you. Everyone's gonna love you. Everyone loves you. I love you.
I love you. Though you have to make him believe that we are made from stardust, because if he does not believe that, then I don't know if he can be in my good graces.
I think he believes that.
That's good.
Do you have any more? What else can I? Do you have any more questions? Is there anything I could comfort you with?
I don't know. Can I tell you anything? What can I tell you? I feel like that's more prevalent. And then you can tell me everything when you see me.
Oh God, I can't think of any questions right now because I'm just like brimming with everything at once.
I know, it's crazy. We don't have to be productive, but I feel like we should for the greater good. But you know,
it's just nice to be here with you.
Yeah. I chose the right door. I literally chose the right door.
Have you just been if I go through a door, do you go through a door and just hope it's the right one every night, or is it like you just been banging on doors just like endlessly?
Oh, endlessly. I do it every day, every hour.
Oh my God. What are the chances you did it though? That's insane.
I knocked at the beginning and then I started kicking them down like full style.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
But every time it was just a memory, and then that was the one time that I saw you and I told you to run, but I didn't really correlate that it was actually you. I thought I was in a memory myself, and I was like, am I living a memory? And then it wasn't. It was actually you, and I was an idiot. And then we talked that one time because you did some weird thing where we were able to talk, and then I don't know what that was.
She asked me not to do that again. I would just. I wanted to do it. Like I wanted to just like conjure up white lilies. Like it was just like I was Spider-Man. You don't know what Spider-Man is. You're a different time.
Okay.
He just. Anyways, just constant lilies, just like over and over and over again.
Constant doors.
And they're my favorite flower. And before I could remember anything subconsciously, I loved white lilies because I loved you. And then I got adopted by random people that made me just raise me. And then they filled the entire building with white lilies because how much I love them and you. It was great.
That is actually, I'm a little jealous actually.
We'll have them do it again when I get you.
Bits and pieces of that. Those are always the nicer doors. Those are the nicer doors. It has been a lot easier now that Calypso has organized them, but trying to open every single door when they are not organized is arduous.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure things out, and I'm figuring it out. Yes. Anything, literally. I will just. I
suppose it's going to depend on the next time you wake up, and then the next time you go to sleep. Because if you go to sleep and then
I can sleep forever. I'll wake up and then I'll run miles and then I'll be so exhausted to go back to sleep.
That's very sweet.
I couldn't swim for 3 years. I couldn't do it. I was so scared of the water.
Hello.
But I'm fine. I actually swam for the first time yesterday. I was good at it.
That is something. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
Just in general, you know.
Thanks.
I'm sorry that I died. So it's a bit of an inconvenience.
Oh God. Yeah, it's not about you. You didn't do it though. You're not. It's okay. I'm sorry that you died as well. More than I'm sure. So much. So much. And I'm sorry you were alone.
It's okay.
Then and for so long after.
I mean, I kind of have 𝐿𝐿 in a way. She's not so bad. Could be worse company. Could be Olu.
I still haven't met Olu yet.
She does not. She's like, him for an eternity.
Good to know. Wow. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about 𝐿𝐿 that start to lean towards, I don't know. I guess I feel for her in a way, I guess. And I think she's really scared, and that shows up in a unique way of her own.
I think she'll be much better company when she's not here anymore. It's not. Yeah. It's not good.
But if I take you, like, your body's just waiting for you. It's diamonds. It's waiting for you.
Diamonds.
Diamonds, yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Do we all look like diamonds when we die?
But
we cannot find out unless we die. Oh, that is horrible.
Let's try not to.
I will live with that with the rest of my life, actually.
Mm.
Oh, or in this abyss that I'm in currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. Ooh! She turns to look at you, and the moment she does, your vision just goes white.
Oh my god.
And you just see kind of the outline of her face just dissipate into the white flash before you are just in a dark abyss with nothing to see, back in the confines of slumber, in the confines of unconsciousness.
Okay. What the fuck?
Okay.
I'm in shock. Holy shit! Oh my god, that was crazy! What?
Fucking, I could be here forever. I love her so much.
You guys could continue that forever, and I would be happy.
I want to watch that forever, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
we needed that. Oh my.
You ended up in the right spot at the right time, right when she opened that door.
Expect that.
This
until the lilac hair bit. I thought it was 𝐿𝐿 walking through the door until you said the hair. And then Theo reacted, and then I reacted, and I was like,
and she opened all those doors at the start.
I thought this was
that was her. That was literally her.
So now you gotta just start being really quiet.
I feel like the only reason she could do that was because 𝐿𝐿 was so is gone. Otherwise occupied.
Yeah, she's
distraught and emotional and elsewhere.
How do I be quiet about going to sleep when you go to sleep you're quiet normally?
Real. What do you I think she means quiet in the
No, I mean in your mind place, you have to be quiet so you can hear which door she's opening. That's what I meant.
Ooh, that's so
because then if you can hear them,
that's cool.
Obviously, she can open the door.
If you listen down the hall and wait for
the door will open.
Oh, bro, that's so.
That's what I meant.
That's cool.
Not be quiet when you're going to bed.
Be quiet for a long time. Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I tell 𝐿𝐿 about
either that or I know.
I was gonna say,
I tell 𝐿𝐿.
𝐿𝐿's gonna
try to plan which doors to open. Every night, if you find her again.
What if there's a back way too that
just keep reopening this door,
the fire exit.
Fire exit.
That was great.
Not fire exit. Fire exit.
Delicious. Oh my fucking god.
That was insane.
That hit. That hit good.
Damn.
I think that soothed my soul after everything else.
As a bomb.
What'd you say?
That soothed my soul after everything else.
Same. It really
Wow,
serves.
I'm gonna
like-
hold on to that forever.
I'm
Did
so
I do
glad.
okay? I was
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you were so good.
Theodore!
The way
I thought I couldn't stop
the way
saying,
we could
oh my
just
God,
like
wow, oh my God.
that's all she could say too.
Yes. And
She was like,
Yeah.
I've been
That was like
literally
the
like
And-
most
all I
realistic.
can say is
Yeah.
dynamic.
she's
And-
been dreaming
And what of it?
of finding Arlo again and talking to Arlo again since you did that thing with Riley, where Riley
It hurts.
connected you in that brief moment.
That's what
to
I was
her.
wondering. It's like you
Mhm.
did the thing of
Wow.
talking,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Well,
And she was
okay."
like,
Mm.
she was
'Cause
like,
you
I
talked to
had
her
that.
with Riley.
She saw you briefly in the mirror. She had that to
Right.
hold on to, and then she
That's what I was
had
thinking
that
about.
one.
That was real, and I
memory.
was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
That was her.
That was her, and you had that one moment as well with with
All
her telling you to
through the
run.
clip, though.
it
That's
was,
crazy.
Yes, which is crazy that
The
she
fact
didn't
that it
realize
started
was
from
a
the
memory
run.
and it
Yeah,
was
and
her.
she was
And
trying to.
10 hours.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
and
You're
she
crazy.
was trying to gather her wits in that, because she was like, oh damn, she was like, that wasn't a memory, that was that, oh
Yeah.
shit, that, okay,
What's him?
yeah,
It's like,
that
I
was
think
her
it's like
learning
at the beginning too,
slowly.
where she was like, she was
understand.
confused, and she was like, "Yeah,
slowly learning.
oh,
You
I
have no
listened
clue
to-
how I feel right now. It's
Oh,
crazy a
Just
little
swimming
bit.
with my fingers.
that
during
was incredible.
I almost
Ow.
sobbed
Holy
when Theo started crying, when
Yeah.
like,
Same.
it was Ilona, I almost
Same.
like started sobbing. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Same.
Beautiful.
I love her. She's so full of joy, and I just
Delectable.
love her.
I'm so
much.
glad I have my Kleenex next to me.
Yeah.
And I was seeing
She's
all your
so
guys' reactions, and
wonderful.
I was like, that's great. I love that.
Also, the overlap with Adona and Arthros being like very
They're so
similar people.
similar.
Yeah,
You're
that's
so
fair.
Yeah.
She's just like
Yeah.
a baby version. She's just like a
more,
younger.
like,
Which
more
makes me emotional
innocent.
for how
Yeah.
like
The
way
drawn to
Arlo
Arthros,
loves
specifically Arlo
that
is.
Yeah.
Arlo's
personality.
Like,
obsessed
oh,
with
like
Arthros.
chicken ass and stuff.
Like, he's
Arthros is
obsessed
a
with
bit
that.
too.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like Donut is just like the itty bitty version of that personality.
Yeah, that's true.
The slightly less traumatized
Yeah.
Arthros.
Yeah, the
think
less
she's
more
giant.
innocent.
Well,
That's
more
traumatized in a different way.
Well,
She's just
That's true.
goes
That's
about
that's
it in a
true.
different way.
I meant
Yeah.
like the original, like
I know what you
before
mean,
the
though.
death.
Yeah,
But yeah.
That's real.
Said
That's real.
Idris.
I do. That was so good.
right.
For being like,
She
sorry.
has
for
a
calling.
vocab word of the day that she has to use.
Oh,
Jewish.
that was so cute. Like, that's a big word for Elmo.
That's a
That's a
big
big
word
Wait,
for
where
one.
are you doing now?
She's only literally
Okay,
like,
why are you
she's
doing
literally like
16?
16. Yeah, she's
15,
And
16?
like 16 centuries old, okay? So
yeah, that's true. That is true.
But she's still, hey, Calypso's still a baby in my eyes. She is baby. She is itty bitty. She does not know what
I
Calypso,
agree with
Calypso
that.
was like
No.
literally,
More so.
Calypso was literally like the same
Mentally,
age.
That is a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I know that because I was like, well, I
She's
wasn't
like a
that.
14-year-old, if
She's
anything.
Yeah, she's
She's
she's like 15, 16.
Oh, okay.
Just centuries old.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
That was crazy.
Thank you
need a bath
for
after
sticking
that.
with
Oh my
us,
gosh.
Theo.
Emotion.
And if
Yeah,
you
that was
Oh
want,
great.
yeah, I'm just gonna take my bath.
are you
take a bath,
chill with
man.
turning
You need
your
a bath after that.
your camera just like off,
yeah,
and then
for
I'll just end the
sure.
call fully. Okay, cool. And you can
Go
watch
take a
from
bath,
your
boy.
bathtub.
Yeah.
You got Prime watching for your bathtub time.
You got VIP
You and
sitters
me, yeah.
VIP seating.
That was crazy.
in the splash zone.
I'm really glad that you liked it.
Are you okay?
I love that.
Wake up, Nija!
I know. Sorry. I'm
Also, we
just
saw
looking
Ulric
How much
and
you
Rain,
want to fall
but
asleep?
Adona.
Oh yeah,
You're
and
never
that
gonna feel like that ever again.
the Rain and Alder or Rain and Alder,
That
Rain
scene
and
was
Ulric,
crazy.
Rain and Ulric bits. Yeah.
That
That
was
was
crazy.
oh my god. I
Nasty,
thought he was
icky,
gonna take
ow, ow.
Rain
I
being
feel
like,
icky because of that.
and
and
then
then he's taking a stool to the counter. I thought he was gonna pull out a cleaver and go chop 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 chop.
He's
I
leaving
wish.
it for Arlo.
yeah.
For
I know.
Arlo, he couldn't.
Get
So then he was like, sorry, Arlo.
Round
you did
and
the
round
freaking-
we go, and
Yeah.
round and around we go,
Going.
round
And then
round
when
we
he
go,
took so when he put the herbs in Arlo's face, was he taking him
Yeah,
to
moon
the
nettle.
museum?
He was knocking you out. Yeah.
Yeah, with the moon nettle.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to get.
That's also why there was like no other guardians around either. It was just
He's
you
like, go to sleep.
and Rain.
I'm like, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
Makes sense.
I feel like is that when
I was
he,
scared I
like,
was gonna wake
he,
up in
like,
that tank.
took
That's for
Arlo,
sure.
like into the museum and started like taking him underneath? Like, is that was the start of that?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Damn.
It was
Well,
the
I like
like
that.
months of
Oh,
the torment under Ulric, and then like almost him like fully turning off, and like The dialogue
You left
between
behind.
him and Ulric in that moment was very much.
I'm so curious about it.
It was a lot of
Yo, me
Ulric
too.
being very much like, you need me to function. You need me to take care of you, because without Ulric's things, without his science and his little elixirs and all of his stuff, Rain is gonna shatter. He's gonna break. He's gonna crumble. And he knows that, and he was holding that above Rain's head, and that was the reason he took Arlo, because it was like, Rain was like, he's fucking right, but I'm not doing it
He's
under
like, I need-
Ulric's like,
And he needed that go-go juice to like freaking
yeah.
patch himself up.
Yep, that's what he went down there to grab. He went down to grab as much of like the elixirs that he could,
and like the bottles and
to
stuff.
take them
That's what
back
the
up to
cleaning was.
𝐲𝐸𝐲𝐸 so that he
Yeah.
could live, so
Like,
that he could literally
replicate it.
live. Yeah. And then it got closed in his fucking face.
Gosh, it was so close
Jesus,
too.
he
That
was
hurts.
so fucking close.
Yeah, he was broken.
think-
That broke a piece of him.
Do you think he missed it by a split second because Arlo was calling after him, so he hesitated, even though you couldn't see if he hesitated or not? So
Are you making a canon in your head right now?
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, that's canon.
Yeah. See yourself out.
Maybe that's
I can't do
canon.
this.
Who fucking knows?
You
Maybe
think I
that
can-
is. Maybe it's
I can
canon.
do this? I can't.
Because he had to push past Arlo. He was like a fraction too late.
Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Ouch. That hurts. I don't think I can take much more, guys.
You did that! You did that one! You put the
said
final
that?
straw! You
Who
can't say that!
fucking said that?
Oh my god.
Wee.
Okay,
I feel
you
like
can
sick.
keep going.
Go
I'm
take a
just
bath.
gonna
Go
go
take a bath. We
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much for
seeing
that
your
scene,
messages, but also
Jane.
no
That was
pressure if you
amazing.
don't want to message.
Yo,
I'm
hugging you.
so
I'm kissing you on the forehead.
glad.
I'm
That's all I wanna
Yeah,
do.
I am
hugging
also.
you.
Mwah. Go ahead, kiss.
Mwah.
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 You'll see me in chat.
Have
You'll see
good.
me in chat.
Hell
I'll see you
yeah.
in chat.
Have a good bath.
See you in a second.
Mwah.
See you,
Thank
big
you.
boy.
I'll be in and out because I'm gonna be getting ready, but
you're
I
fine, you're
will
fine.
still watch it all over.
I love you
I'll
so
be
much.
ready.
You're good.
I love you
love
so much. I love all of you so much.
That was
What a
insane.
great day.
Yeah,
Crazy
yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Season
I love you.
finale's gotta go
Another
hard.
swim. It went.
Have
Oh,
a
it
good
is.
swim.
It is.
Going.
We're
It's
not even done
going.
yet.
It's-
We're not even done
It's
yet.
No, we're not
God.
done.
I just want to
God.
flirt
Oh
with
my
Connor. Can I just?
That's
flirt with
kind of
Connor?
what I'm giving you access
All right,
to.
do that. Do that.
Because I think
Do that.
your time is gonna be next
Which
episode.
recruiting next scene?
Whitaker. Anyways.
What?
Um,
Whitaker.
Whitaker.
Real name revealed.
Whitaker. We love you, Tio. Whitaker.
William.
Love you, Theo.
Whitaker.
Oh, it's you.
Whittier?
Whitaker.
Whittier.
Whittium.
Whittier.
William. I like
William.
William. Whitaker.
Sounds like a metal
It will we'll have a
Whittium.
little
or mineral.
lightness after
Because
that
Aria was
moment.
also snoozing.
Yep.
Her dream should be okay, hopefully.
We're ending the session with Aria.
Ah!
Oh, okay. I thought that you meant we're not doing a Connor and
Oh no, we're we're you're last.
No.
Is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
that's fine.
And we're
Um,
I was like, I want Connor time. I want Connor time.
I want Connor.
This
If
might
I
be
was
self
always
this
the
might
best
be
of
self-indulgent. I don't know.
If I have to be,
If it is, it's for me as well.
Okay, cool.
It's you and me. Listen, if Andromeda got to freaking kiss Tobias, I can talk to Connor.
Damn right.
Then I can speak.
I can speak.
I
That's
really,
so
I
rude to
really-
say.
so unwell.
That I can speak to my boyfriend's boyfriend.
I'm still unwell about
Yeah.
that. My God.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I need to watch the Andromeda.
I need to watch-
entire
yeah,
scene
same.
immediately.
I need to
Actually,
watch this whole season back. I mean, not
Yeah.
season. I mean episode, but also season.
Specifically, since we restarted stream, I need the nighttime
Yeah.
stuff.
I also want to. I want to
immediately.
rewatch the rain scene at the very beginning too. That is.
Oh,
Yeah. And the logs. That was fun too.
That was crazy.
Bruh. Okay.
That was terrifying though.
So. Wit.
The implications.
Also, are you
Oh,
guys
hello.
okay? I didn't want to just
Sure.
like ignore you
Hey,
guys. But are you guys feeling?
No.
Are you feeling okay? Like you're all good. Everyone's feeling okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than emotionally,
Yeah.
insane.
I
Real.
love this
Real.
story. I love this.
This is my favorite story. This is my favorite story.
This is my favorite book.
This is my favorite TV show.
You have boyfriends, and those boyfriends are
Those are gonna be
boyfriends. And I also have
boyfriends.
a
I have a girlfriend. Wait.
Yes.
Silas has long since conked the fuck out on the little lounge area downstairs.
He's just a CP baby.
Yeah, he has conked out.
On the lounge?
His tea is like half drink, and he is like fucking. He's knocked out. And Arthros is kind of like, Arthros is near him, kind of lying near him, but her eyes are kind of like falling as well because she had been like really awoken before.
Very rudely. We're all gathered around.
Like, you're all
Not
very
whispering.
loud.
No.
And she's kind of sitting there on the couch as well, or not couch, but it's like that like a bunch of like pillows, you know, like stacked on the floor, so it's like cozy.
Very cozy area.
Little
Just sitting,
lounge. Yeah, I love those.
They're so comfy.
And you see her eyes kind of falling, but she kind of keeps awake as she's like reading through her book, and she like flips the page, and her eyes kind of fall again. She just keeps reading. And Connor, I think, is kind of still kind of sipping on the coffee in his hands, and he is kind of mindlessly still looking around the little like kitchen area. He's looking at the little like recipes that Ven has like what's the word? Pinned. Oh my god. Yeah, pinned onto like the wall, like little recipes of little like cakes and things like that she can make. And like Connor's just got
this place so homey.
Yeah. And he's got like one hand behind his back and then one hand holding his coffee, like very just like someone would look at paintings in a museum. Like he's like looking at it, like looking at everything.
Just serene.
Yeah. Where do you think you are in this moment? Are you over with Silas and Arthros?
I think he was like at least around them, also like taking in the settings and just, I mean, gathering information about Ven through like the surroundings and like her tastes and stuff.
She's very soft.
And, yeah, just like, so this is Ven. This is her comfort. This is like her place.
Yeah.
I think he probably finished his like berry juice long ago.
Yeah.
And seeing the others falling asleep, he is gonna go get some coffee.
That's fair.
So I think he actually walks into the kitchen and starts making like a fresh pot or something.
As like Arthur's kind of like notes you doing that, like you're like going, kind of getting up to go to the kitchen. I think she kind of like looks at you through like tight eyes, like blinks. She's like, are you gonna take first watch?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sleep well.
I want to try certainly my hardest.
Shall I ask?
He's
gonna like just as he's walking past, just like stoop down and like give her a kiss on the forehead.
She like grabs your arm before you leave, like pulls you down and smooches you on the lips. And then she like she smiles up at you.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and she like lifts up her book and she's like,
"We need to fix her.
This is a good one." And she puts it down on the little like table nearby, like a little coffee table, and then kind of like gets kind of curled up, and she like grabs a little like blanket, puts half of it over Silas.
Like tucks her in a little bit and like like drapes it over her.
She like shares, like drapes over with Silas and just kind of like looks at him, shakes her head, and then like turns and like lays on her side. Yeah, so I feel like, I imagine they're just like both lying next to each other, back to back. Like he's turned one way and she's turned the other, and they're sharing the blanket.
It's so cute.
My boyfriend and my girlfriend.
I'm eating.
And I imagine at this point, like many of the others have kind of like drifted off. Alder, I imagine, has kind of taken up kind of like comfort down here, but I think he is sitting. I imagine he's sitting kind of in the corner of the little lounge area, and it's that very like light under his breath. He's talking to Aurora. And they're just kind of like just very like this casual like talk, and it genuinely seems like Alder is like being vulnerable with her, like he's telling her like the events of the day and everything that's been going on. And Aurora kind of has like a light hand on like his shoulder, and he direly needs this because he's never fucking had this other than like Andromeda and her support. But yeah, and it's that cozy, like the house is silent, but you just hear like the light murmuring of like the conversation. Oh, love. That shit puts me to sleep instantly.
It's like the quiet night like sleepovers was just like little whispers and murmurs and like snoring and stuff.
I'm out like a light. Anytime I sleep the best when Jazz is like up doing something, like moving around the house.
Yeah, like background noise.
Yeah, I pass the fuck out. But yeah, and as you get up to kind of get a coffee, Connor doesn't seem to really like notice you. He's just sort of
No, that was at the coffee, but also Connor.
I thought you were like, oh,
I was like,
Connor, and I was like,
coffee.
Yeah, you're real.
But also Connor, okay?
That carries
coffee.
over.
Also coffee.
He
my first love.
Doesn't
in my latest.
He doesn't seem to notice you. He's still just like entranced by looking at this recipe. But he like takes like mindless sips of his coffee as he's like looking at it. He's like frowning. Do you say anything to him as you grab your coffee?
Where is he at again? Like he's like, in the kitchen type.
He's like near the kitchen. Yeah, he's like right on the outside of the kitchen because it's kind of like that open like floor plan type beat where the kitchen's like in a spacious area and then the lounge is just next to it. And he is kind of standing in the midst of the kitchen, almost like closer to like the front door, but like just outside where the counter is, like just next to where the counter is, just looking at the wall that's there. So he's within earshot, essentially.
Okay. I think, Wit just kind of like casually like walks past him, starts like making the coffee. Sees like he's like fixating on like the recipes and stuff and just like making conversation. Do you cook?
He like instantly like kind of like glances over at you, like realizing you're there. And he kind of like swallows, looks away, and he's like, I haven't for a while, but I used to. Baking, not so much, but moonberry cake sounded interesting. I kind of like
sounds delightful.
Moonberry cake.
Mm-hmm.
I take it you tried the juice.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've never had anything quite like it.
Well, the Underdark is full of intricacies. Sorry.
I hope we stay a while.
By the way.
For what?
If I've been, I don't know, standoffish.
I was an asshole when we first met, so if anyone should apologize,
slight bit. You were a little bit of. Well, within reason. I mean,
the Silas ran away from you, so I assumed the worst. But turns out you're actually a decent guy.
He ran away from me because I was a decent guy, unfortunately.
A habit he's since broken.
I'm jealous, but good for you.
I mean, he did ask you to come with. Doesn't that mean something?
He frowns. He's like,
also, you came with. Doesn't that mean something?
Okay. Air out my dirty laundry. I don't know what to do about it because I don't think there's any way in the 10 realms that I could partake in a friendship per se with Silas. So my intentions of following him were very mixed.
Yeah, I was a little surprised you agreed.
Well, it's Silas.
Yeah, I get that.
He tried to apologize, but it mostly consisted of, haha, you know that one time, and then carried on from there. I don't think he actually got the word sorry out. But I understood.
I think given enough time, which you guys have now, hopefully it'll get better. It was a little rushed earlier.
Yeah.
He has a lot to say. I know he does. And he wants to say it.
If it means anything, I am happy for you. Though, I was surprised to find that 2 people. That was a shock. I'm not going to lie. And a woman. That was also a shock. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but it works, you know?
Yeah. Well, that is kind of how love works, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we have a unique perspective on that, all of us.
I am glad that he has found someone. And I'm glad that you are a decent guy as well, and he has not run from you.
Yeah, I may have you to thank for that. Maybe some other people, but I'm grateful.
A domino effect, I suppose. You're just the last domino in the batch. And somehow mine missed it.
Not necessarily.
You're still standing.
You know, dominoes can be picked up and placed again, right? It's the whole game.
That was so good. What the fuck? Sorry, I had to. He just kind of like frowns at you. He's
I
like,
don't want to come on too strong, but also
he's so.
it's not an open.
He's like,
open.
I don't understand what this man's saying. He kind of like, he nods very slowly, and he's like,
It's like he's trying to speak to me.
It's like he's trying to say, you're cute, but I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
He just nods and he's like, well, I am glad to see that Silas's obvious good taste is carried over. He's got that going for him.
Yeah, it seems like he's always had good taste.
There's such men in this moment. Not the fucking.
Oh, you're a good-looking guy. Oh, you're a good guy. Wow, what a go put on the back.
What a handsome
fucking game.
God, it's so funny.
What a handsome pair of dudes we are, eh? You
Oh,
want to kiss?
Hey, you want to kiss?
Yeah.
I as well.
I fucking adore.
You want to kiss about it?
You want to kiss about it? You want to kiss and tell? He kind of nods his head and he's like, thank you. I was a catch after all.
Still are.
Wait till you try my food. Silas's best meals were because of me. Food. In the manner of food. He shakes his head. He's like, fucking hell.
If that's an offer for food. For food. I'll take you up on it. Anytime.
Next place we stay that isn't the kitchen of someone I don't know, I will purchase a few groceries. Whip something up.
Does seem like you're at home here.
Sorry, I had to really hold myself back, and I wish I didn't. From saying,
what? Don't hold yourself.
Okay, well then canonically
Never
he says maybe I can whip something out. I mean up.
Is that canon? Is that canon?
Yeah, it's canon.
Wait, coughs on his coffee, which is now ready.
Haley said white flag, white flag.
both his
He just immediately starts drinking his coffee. He's like,
they just like look away.
yeah, he's like, whoa. Okay.
Look at that recipe. Yeah.
He's like,
Good job, it approves.
hell yeah. He nods his head and he's like, I feel as though agreeing to tag along with you lot has put me in an interesting storyline.
Never a dull moment.
Honestly, it's kind of exciting.
Never a dull moment. Oh, and Aria approves too. I got it. I see it.
He just kind of nods and he says,
We're happy to have you, though, I think. It appears I've stumbled upon the main plot line.
Yep.
That's what you get for liking a main character.
Yeah, 100%.
Which Silas is now.
He clears his throat, and he thinks for a moment. He says, never had any adventures before the rupture. It was just order and rules and diplomacy and everything boring.
Useful skills. I think you made the most of it.
I tried. I saved Silas from a few binds, of course, but
I appreciate that. But I know he does too.
it was only right. And I did have a crush on him, so there's that too.
Mm.
Being a pirate, it had its perks, but it never clicked. Never fully. Something was always missing. And then... Oh, shit.
What?
Ugh.
Someone was always missing.
I'm not a decent guy. Oh, I forgot to say bye to Vin.
Oh.
He just kind of like sits there. He's like,
Oh.
I didn't think about that. I just thought he didn't do it.
I forgot about that.
he just nods. He's like,
So you've been
purely physical. But I feel like I owed him a farewell of some sort.
If it makes you feel any better, Andromeda gave him a hearty farewell.
That does make me feel better, actually. Thank you.
I'm sure he'll miss you though. But he seemed quite happy there.
Yes. It was a coping method.
Oh. For you or him?
He's half 𝐿.
Oh, for you.
He just hums.
No.
He's like,
You also have good taste, Mike. Wow.
Yeah, he's something, right? Yeah.
Andromeda could have been so lucky.
He nods. He's like, yeah, but she'd have to share him. I don't think you'll ever settle for one person.
To each their own.
He's a man of luxury, and his luxury is body. That's
true.
fine. Yeah, exactly. Most pirates,
Sometimes the more the merrier.
Yeah, but not every treasure is gold, right? Pirate joke, pirate reference, metaphor. It's... Listen, I desperately want to make a good impression for you, and Silas, and I'm trying desperately hard, and I think it's creeping through a bit how hard I am trying.
I think after the initial clarification of who you were to Silas, there's no bad blood here. I like you.
That's refreshing to hear. So where are you from?
Here, actually. Not the Underdark. Istadel.
Oh. I wasn't aware this would be a homecoming.
Yeah. I've always wanted to come here, though. So, the Underdark specifically.
Funny that.
Bucket list.
Perhaps there was a chance we were both in the same place at the same time at one point in our life.
Quite possible, I suppose.
I was born here.
And you visited, supposedly.
I moved to Hinto with my father biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, Hinter doesn't sound great. Wasn't.
When you grow up in the Underdark, no. No, not great.
It's beautiful here. I kind of don't want to leave.
Oh, you don't have to.
Remember what you were saying earlier of you feel like you stumbled in on something.
Right.
We'll have to leave eventually.
Yeah, there was a part of me that was just hoping, like, you know, I was even false in that statement. But I see that I am not, so.
I'll have to comfort you, but it's better to prepare you.
Right.
You're in for a lot. But I think it's worth it.
Well, then I will be your pocket chef. Wherever you go, you take me with you. I will cook you good food.
That sounds quite nice.
It's the least I can do.
But you don't have to do anything to stay here, obviously. You could just be here.
I want to be useful in some way. I was giving chores every day on Dragon's ship. I need something to busy the mind.
Well, I'm not going to turn down good food, so knock yourself out.
Wonderful. Are you sleeping?
Not for a good long while. We take shifts.
Then I will stay up with you.
You don't have to.
The way your eyes widened was so funny. He just kind of shrugs.
That
he's
was
like,
quick, canonically.
He's like, I'm not tired.
It's a sip.
And
Oh,
company's
you
nice.
are drinking coffee.
Company's nice, and your company specifically is nice. So,
Agreed.
if I don't terribly annoy you,
You don't.
cool.
Far from it.
He looks around. He's like, yeah, all right.
Should we get comfortable? It's gonna be a long night.
Yes. I can go on a grueling tale about my life growing up in the Underdark.
I would enjoy that.
Neat.
Can't promise you the same, but I will surely listen.
He shakes his head. He's like, I fell in love with Silas, so kind of used to the never knowing anything about anyone. He just walks away.
Oh. Thank the gods.
It's like, so wait, yeah. Nah, he's
a little honest. That's progress,
kind of
isn't
man. Yeah. Hell yeah. He's promising that he can't expect the same. And Connor very like kind of a little bit more like pep in his step and a bit more confidence, like heads over to the little lounge area, like grabs a pillow.
Like we set up like on the other side of the like room with
That's
like
fair.
the pillows.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
stuff.
So you can like talk kind
From
of.
like we'll watch them. We'll be quiet. We're
Fair.
not next to the corner because they're talking too. So
That's fair. And I think that the night kind of transpires with just like Connor's soft, like accented, like voice, just retelling like stupid ass memories in like Gale coded fashion. The way that Gale just offers up crazy memories, where it's like this one time, like this one time.
You would think
Oh,
get into this position.
yeah. And yet, and he's very Gale coded. He sits
I'm
there.
obsessed with that information.
He's like a more timid Gale. It's great. And he recounts these little memories to you, and they're very small things, like nothing crazy. Like he tells you about like a bully that he dealt with in the streets of the Underdark, and like he tells you about some of the friends he had, but that he doesn't know or see anymore.
That's so tough.
And he just starts offering just random little facts up about his life, in between little coffee sips and in between glances at Silas frequently.
Yeah, same. I like to think that like Wit is torn between like listening intently to like every detail of like the Underdark in his life and stuff, but they both like glance at
Yeah, they keep glancing.
Arthros too, obviously.
Yeah.
At least for
For wit.
But
yeah. Connor was so shocked. What?
Sorry,
What's being
that's
said?
real. That's real.
I said Vay's collecting all the BG3 coded NPCs or Ravenwood NPCs as partners. So it's Gale, Shadowheart,
Historian.
Oh my god, Arthur's is so Shadowheart coded.
Yeah.
Very Shadowheart coded.
Wow. I love that.
I love this for me. I think I'm living my
maximum
life,
cozy. I'm not gonna lie.
It is so cozy.
Dude,
I love that you asked about him. I love
that
that you asked about him, like if he cooks, because that was something I canonically had, that he would cook for Silas all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I just recipes. Yeah.
He's like,
also, if he's being a person who doesn't eat and is the most excited about this, I love it.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to eat, but she can, right?
She's worried about the diet of the rest of the group because we're just worried about fucking Pop-Tarts, junk food, fucking crap.
Silas has pure sugar all the time.
And fucking Connor makes like a mean ass fucking stew.
I can imagine Connor.
We live on like coffee
see?
and sugar.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Connor's like, let me see your rations. He opens the bag. He's like, what
the?
There's not a singular,
not
like,
a vegetable, anything.
Not a protein to be found.
There is not a natural code color. What?
I'm unwell. Sorry about chat.
Oh.
What? Which chat?
Comment said he's gonna cook all the food for the Red Oak Inn.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hey, you're just collecting workers, aren't you?
I'm collecting your little setup for your inn.
Code.
You're doing it all to set up your inn. We see right.
We've got our little book nook gal. We've got our
bartender,
like,
sure.
Yeah, bartender. Yeah.
Silas would be great at it.
Well,
ours could be smart condiments kind of thing. And we have our
maitre d', like the girl.
Yeah, the host.
The host.
Because that'd be a perfect job. Because then she can just read and like greet people and then like.
This is kind of a shady business practice, but I support it. I fucking support it.
Shady partner practice.
Shady partner
practice.
With that.
That's the coziest night. That's the best. That's really amazing.
What a wonderful way to end this season.
What a wonderful way
to
end.
We're coming for you next. We're coming for you
How
next.
wonderful and gorgeous.
I'm coming for your ass.
Way to end it. Why? Why are you coming for my ass?
What a lovely way to end it.
I have no ass.
You need false. You need to
I have to
get got.
Why do I have to
get got?
Like the screen. You gotta get got.
Why do I have
Open
to
your ears, open your eyes, and prepare.
I didn't get got, but everybody else did.
Aria.
I like that.
I didn't get got.
For once.
You got got.
Okay.
God. I don't think I'm ever gonna recover from that.
We all kind of got wins though. Tobias.
It was the way that Haley. I'm high-fiving the fuck out of you because we were so in character with that.
Yeah, you really were.
It was so cool.
It was so
good. You were so good. I was worried because I was like, I don't know how to play Tobias like this because he's never vulnerable.
He's never. Had this before.
Yeah.
He did great with showing his vulnerable side.
Oh, I'm glad.
And how Andromeda was like easing off of it, and like how they were.
And she was like, "Did I push you far? I won't push you."
Because I wanted him to still be like that dominating presence, but in this way that it's like he's able to be open.
Because he shouldn't go back and forth.
Either he was just like,
oh, he's so lost.
They were both like at even. Kind of playing fields,
and he was not having a good night. Like I genuinely picture wherever he was, that he was like the moment he left
just
Andromeda
sat
in that room. Like I imagine wherever he went, he just stood there and just sat in that silence. Yeah, and had literally no, like I feel like he was paralyzed. Like because
and it hit him like
he
a
was
fucking ton of bricks.
he was so afraid. I think he's never been more afraid in his life at just how quiet everything was. Because even his own thoughts.
He built this up so in his mind.
Yeah, in his mind it was like
goal.
Exactly. It was
and
this like
what do you
pedestal.
do? What do you do when it isn't fulfilling? Like your goal of life.
He was so underwhelmed, and I understand. He was manipulated.
He climbed.
Maybe this isn't the purpose of life.
He climbed that pedestal that he set up for himself, but forgot that he had a fear of heights, and he's up there. Yeah,
baby, yeah,
oh my god,
yeah, baby,
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
Ooh.
And it's also like he even feels like even just his he has so many thoughts, but even his thoughts are not enough to like busy his mind because there's two fucking people that were in there thinking with him, and now they're not.
Mm-hmm.
He's back in his own
Oh.
mind. His own
Which is kind of
mind.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
have.
Aria.
Delicious.
I have.
Aria.
Aria.
Aria time.
What if we keep talking about? What are we about this?
Aria.
Nope, Aria.
What do you mean?
Aria.
Aria time.
What?
As your mind drifts into darkness tonight, as slumber overtakes you.
Roughly. I think she was having a hard time. She was
That's
tossing
fair.
and turning.
That is
And she
fair.
kept just like looking in between Solar and Ben. And she would just keep going like this.
That's fair. Oh.
Because I also feel like she's kind of the type of person that has to have like it be dark while she sleeps.
Yeah.
So she would like look over at Ben, but then her light would be on. And so
The
she would
lantern.
have to like turn away so she could sleep. But then she got scared. And so she turned back. And she would just be, it'd be the back and forth cycle.
No. Well, with a lot of tossing and turning, when you eventually do,
I was asleep.
yeah, when you eventually do fall asleep,
Yeah.
it's a long while before anything particularly intriguing takes part across your sleep-riddled vision. And you lie there in kind of this darkness, and it's not the darkness that you're familiar with, not Orion's darkness, just darkness. But then
When your eyes are closed,
Yeah.
and like you feel like you can kind of see the outside, but you're like
yeah,
falling
yeah,
into
yeah.
sleep
Yeah,
at like middle ground. I know what you mean.
And eventually, as that middle ground like passes, your eyes feel as though they're fluttering open to a world of black once more, but this one feels different. There's darkness encroaching on the space, but not in a way that is terribly similar to Orion. This feels more like the rot that you'd seen in Ostradel. And it's deep and rich and dark, and there are tendrils crawling across your mind like sinewy branches. And it feels as though you're in a cabin. The more you blink these tendrils out of your vision. Wood creaking beneath your feet, but the entirety of the space is encapsulated in that dark virus. Spider-webbed arrays of black creeping in every corner. Almost as though you're in a room with nothing in it, but it is made of this like ink-stained wood, essentially. And the wood continues to creak as you stand there, and you kind of blink the blurriness of unconsciousness out of your eyes. And as you do, something more comes into view. And you see out of the darkness, a table seems to fizzle into existence. Almost as though these black inky tendrils like kind of climb up to form this table before they seep away. Almost as though it's like painting it with that like the rotten branches. Okay. And you note as soon as this table forms that a figure forms made of this darkness, and it climbs up to form the being. Mm-hmm. And they're tall and slender, and they're hunched over the wooden surface with purpose. And their fingers seem to be fiddling with an odd array of trinkets, hands moving to pick up what looks to be a small bottle, before they kind of hold it to the light a moment, glance at it, and put it back down. And you see this light, the light that kind of shines across the bottle through the glass. It's coming from an unknown light source. There is no light, like actual like lantern light or anything of that nature in this room. There's no sunlight. There's just this kind of beam that just is there.
It's coming.
And it's almost just kind of piercing the darkness in an eerie way. And as the light kind of dims a fraction, as the being drops the bottle back down to the table, they turn to you. And as you shift to more alertness and you meet their eye, you recognize them. And your heart sinks and your blood runs cold at the sight of Ulric standing before you. And there's a smile on his lips as he gazes with something like pride at where you stand. There's dark stubble stretching across his chiseled jaw and black hair enveloping his head and sideburns. And it's handsome and it curls at the ends where it's kind of tied up. And his hands move away from the little elixir bottle and he kind of fully turns to look at you. And he stands with this eerie countenance, like this very like observational look. Like he's taking you in, but there's an odd kind of like not quite human way that he moves.
Like flighty?
He moves like languidly, like kind of swaying, like kind of like moving like this. And like flighty, I think, yeah, is a good word. But just very
But like more smooth than that.
Yeah. More just like eerily moving, as though kind of like if your vision was blurry, the way you would see like someone kind of floating there.
Yeah.
But like
if you're looking at something kind of from like far away and it looks like they're almost like
it looks like they're
moving. But you can't really like you're looking at them and think that they're still, but yeah, I get it.
You get it.
I love this horror shit. I love this horror shit.
And
I love it.
There's this dream haze to him that almost makes him look a little bit translucent in a way. Wispy almost ghost-like. He gives this mirage of like a ghostly vibe, and he turns and kind of tilts his head a moment, and a deep baritone comes from his mouth. He very just softly says, "Good morning, Aria." He smiles.
How do you know my name?
Oh, don't worry. I'm not real, of course. He looks you up and down a moment. I'm dead, remember? Ooh, are you unsure? Awkward. He kind of looks at you. His eyes rake over you once more.
Only a ghost would be so cruel as to tease me in my own dreams.
More or less. I've never had the ability to creep into the minds of others. Bit invasive, don't you think?
Are you actually asking?
I don't know. I'm in your mind. This is your conjuration. This is your image of me. You think me a ghost, and yet I'm here. Intriguing. Symbolic. Maybe I'm not actually dead. Maybe that's the metaphor of it all. Ghost-like, but standing in front of you.
You're making it really hard to be serious, because I'm like really obsessed with this. I'm really obsessed with this.
Okay, I thought you were like, this is stupid.
No, it's so cool. I can't. I'm like trying so hard not to like laugh and smile because I'm so scared. Okay.
His eyes. You see his eyes drop down to like your hands for a moment.
Okay.
Before they drop back up, like they lift back up to you, and he very softly says,
Okay.
I'd offer you a cup of coffee. I know you like that sort of thing, but your hands seem rather full. And when you glance down, Aria, your fingers have a white-knuckled hold on a sharp, jagged, and long dagger, intricate and curved. And when your eyes lift, if they lift back up to him,
they lift.
He only smiles, and he kind of gestures towards it. And he says, well, go on then. Mutilate me. Might make you feel better. Because if you can pierce me, pierce the veil with the sword, then I must be real. And if you can't actually touch me, if I'm not actually physical, then I'm just a ghost. And there's nothing to worry about. I can't actually creep into your mind. I can't actually look at your thoughts. I can't actually feel what you want. I can't know that you like coffee.
Oh my god, it's horrible. Sorry. Really hard.
He's not. It's okay. He's not. It is fair for her to not know what the fuck to do.
No, she's like, she's in it. I'm stressed out. Okay. 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 And is the dagger like the Nexus dagger? Or is it just a dagger? A regular dagger?
It is just a regular dagger.
Regular. Okay. 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 So if you're there and I stab you,
Maybe I'm more tangible. I mean,
And
if
if I,
blood spurts out and my organs go flying, then I must be real, right? If you can desecrate me in your mind, I can't be a ghost. Oh, but if you go right through me and your anger just cascades through my flesh, then, well, then I think you have nothing to fear.
but your conjuration, you...
Maybe.
No.
Or am
You're-
I my own being telling you that I'm a conjuration?
You're human.
Trying to convince you
You
I
just
didn't
told me that you can't do this.
pick up the ability somewhere along the way. I've lived a long time.
But you're powerless.
Am I?
Hungry. Yes.
Hmm.
That's your whole thing, isn't it?
Is it? Do tell me. I am your conjuration. Powerless is the being who ripped the guardians of all they were. Powerless is the being who turned my son and daughter into weapons and made them better than what they were. Powerless indeed, yeah. Oh, I see it now. Clearly. Although, if I was powerless, how does it explain how easy it was to rip the core out of that small girl's little heart? How easy it was to hold that golden light in my hand and know what to do with it. As she lay dying, breathless before me. Such a shame, so much life to live. Well, she was immortal. So much life to live, and yet suspended in reality.
Calypso was right. You're fucking horrible at games.
Am I?
Yes.
Aren't we playing one right now? Real or not real? And you still haven't answered. Maybe you're the one that's horrible at games.
I'm good at playing games.
Then why haven't you used the dagger?
Because I don't want to play this game.
You don't? You don't want me dead? You don't want to pierce my heart with that?
I don't want you here!
He smiles. And send me away. There's only one way to do it.
That's not my job anymore. My job is to end you, to end us.
So do it.
I can't do that in my dream.
Easy. Oh.
I could do it in my dreams. I'd like to.
It's
Nothing ever
disappointing.
happens.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing.
Not
It's
the best bit of the
immensely
soundtrack.
disappointing. You don't even want to stab an apparition? I mean, come on now. What makes you think you can kill me in real life if you can't even stab my ghost? I'm here. Ready and willing. I want to feel it.
You won't feel it. I will.
Maybe. Unless I'm real. Maybe I'll feel a
What?
pang in my heart. Maybe I'll feel for the first time in centuries. Don't you want that for me?
I don't want anything for you.
So use the dagger.
No. And she drops it.
Hmm.
Does it cling?
It
Or does it just
falls.
fall?
It falls like it is solid and real, but it makes no noise. And he just kind of looks at it.
You want to play games?
Never said I wanted to.
And yet here you are.
I thought you might be amused by it. And clearly I have
What?
to stand up for myself and be on the defensive if someone's saying that I'm horrible at playing games. I mean, you think I'm not
Well,
going to
you're
stand up
horrible
for
at
myself?
playing games.
You've told me.
I'll tell you again.
Please continue.
You're horrible at playing games.
I've got all night.
You're a horrible father. A monster.
Mm.
You're the things that used to keep me up at night.
Oh, what an honor.
So if you're a ghost,
Are we back to playing games? What ifs?
you're still here.
I am. It's up to you to send me away, after all.
Why is that my job?
Because you're trying to figure out whether I'm real or not.
No, I'm not. You're just here to fuck with me. I'm here sleeping. I'm sleeping. You showed up in my dreams. Without even knocking, might I add. I shouldn't expect any less, but still.
You think I'm so good
You
at
can't.
torture? It's probably...
It's because you are.
That's probably why you're using me to torture yourself, Aria.
I don't need you to torture myself.
Ooh, then why
I know
am
how to do it.
Why am I here?
That's what I'm fucking asking.
Oh, you should be asking yourself.
Aren't I doing that?
Are you?
Am I?
I don't know. You didn't use the dagger, so I guess we'll never know. Really?
I don't need a dagger.
Well, do you want some coffee then? Now that your hands aren't full?
Charming. I can see why Vane liked you.
I had my charm at times.
Even a monster has charm.
Yeah. That's what makes monsters so great. I can walk out the door, but you will never know.
There is no door.
Oh, there is. There's.
No, there isn't.
And there's just one that appears out of the darkness.
Aria
you.
deletes it. She just, no, she wipes it away.
Fair, fair.
No, there's no door.
He looks. So you don't want me to leave?
I don't know!
Oh, well, you just got rid of my escape route, so...
Exactly.
I'll just sit here and talk to you all night, then.
Fine.
Is that what you would like?
No.
Oh, well, door has been deleted.
Yes.
You're doing?
Yes.
Hmm.
Purposeful.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you do not want me to talk to you all night.
I want to annoy you.
Oh, it's impossible.
Why?
Because I am in your mind, Aria. I am your conjuration. You're just going to annoy yourself, really.
I already annoy myself.
You should get
What's
that
this
looked
any
at.
different? I can't get that looked at. What the fuck does that even mean?
He smiles at you. Why do you keep me here if you don't want to hear what I have to say? If you have a problem with my presence, if you aren't a fan of me or my work.
Your version of you.
Your version of me. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What about
You're
it?
everything I want you to be.
Am I? And what is that?
Someone to dispose of.
So what, the real me is indisposable?
No,
You have a soft spot?
I don't know. I don't know who you are. I didn't even know I was a Nexus.
If you don't know who I am, how come I'm standing right here before you?
Because I've seen your face. I've read your writing.
Or I'm actually here? Perhaps I'm real. I'm actually in your mind, the same way Calypso has snuck in, the same way Ven has knocked at your door. I am here, in the flesh.
Then pick up the dagger.
Me? Fine. You see him step backward, and he reaches, and his fingers grip around the handle, and he lifts it, and he holds it out. Would you like me to do the honors? Aria, would you like me to do the honors? One word, that's all it takes.
Hand
yes,
it to me.
no, yes, no. Finally. He hands it to you.
She's gonna grab his hand.
As you move to grab it, your hand slides through his fingers. But not the dagger. The dagger is legitimate. The dagger is solid. And you
She
hit
takes
that,
the dagger.
but don't touch his fingers. He moves his hand back.
Round and round. Here we go again.
He starts patting his chest. Right here. Ready and willing.
Arya stabs herself in the chest with it.
He looks at you. Well, that's what I was gonna do, but you didn't let me. Awkward.
You're already doing it to me.
Or you're doing it to yourself. Symbolic. I am here. Am I a metaphor? Am I not? There's really no way of knowing, is there?
You will blow away with the wind as soon as it changes. And she just blows with like the last gasp of air in her lungs.
As you blow,
just all in his face.
He like
gets some spit in there.
You you see like the breath of your air kind of pierce him, but it almost like wisps out for a moment before he like re-emerges. Like the projection of him essentially like pulls back together, and he stands there once more, almost as if he just kind of was smoke for a fraction of a second. And he looks down for a moment, and he nods. Well, you're right about one thing. The wind is certainly changing. Sorry about your little mistake. It's awkward. First meeting with my wife, and you bring the wrong body.
Don't call her your wife.
We are still married by law.
So that means you're alive.
Maybe.
Fuck off.
He's like, do you actually want me to this time? You can make the door reappear, and I'll just stride on out.
Arya just twists the dagger.
Ouch.
You get used to it. It only pinches for a second.
You're making it much worse by not sending me away, not allowing me any sort of exit.
The more I send you the way, the further you get. I can't have that.
Right.
That just makes it harder on me.
But that's if I'm real, right? Because if I'm not real, I'm just an apparition here, and then it's just you making your life miserable until the moment you end mine, really.
She just keeps blowing on him as he's
just
talking.
keeps going. And he's like, if you like, I'll bring back the door, and then you can stop torturing yourself for the night. Or we can stand here and go round and round and round. Place bets.
On what?
Me being here. Actually, in the flesh.
I've already lost that bit.
Have you?
Remember? I brought the wrong fucking skull and ribs to my grandmother, mind you, not your wife. So don't say that.
It was a sweet notion. What you were planning to do with the ribs, I mean.
I'm still planning on it.
Oh, and that's fine. When you find me, of course.
She pulls the dagger out.
Mm-hmm.
Does she bleed?
He extends his hand. That's up to you.
Ow. Why are you putting your hand out?
Dagger.
Why?
So we can share in the torture.
Why? What? No, I am the real person here. I get the real dagger.
Well, why aren't you stabbing me with the real dagger?
Because you're fake.
I feel left out. Deeply.
Good, as you should.
Oh.
Go cry about it.
At least let me do it to myself.
No.
Well, you got to do it.
Exactly. Feel left out, as you should.
Shame.
Shame, he says. You don't know shame.
No, I don't.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna sit here, because if you don't mind, I will have a cup of coffee. I can certainly make you one. I know how you take it, and I will make sure that it is pristine.
Make me a cup of coffee.
Then he moves, and as much as you're gonna hate it,
Do it.
this fucking cup of coffee that
It's delicious.
he kind of goes like this. It is exactly how you take it. It is everything, every ingredient, every calculation is correct. And he kind of like a table appears with that kind of like black inky liquid, and he sits in it, and he holds his own little cup, crosses his legs, sits before you.
She takes the cup.
He hands it to you.
Takes a big swig. She just spits it all over him.
It goes like through him in that way
Through him?
again with the smoke, and he's just like, table manners.
Just like wipes the spit off of her mouth and just pours the rest of it on top of him.
It goes through him, and the smoke
Drops.
dissipates once more.
She just
Same
drops
thing.
the cup on his head.
Same thing. Aria, will you just stab me and get this over with?
Why? It sounds like you wanted at this point.
I do.
Why would
I want to prove a point.
What point could you possibly prove?
I want to see what you think when you see what happens.
You want to see what I think?
I've had a sip of coffee now. It's the prime time.
What if I poisoned your coffee?
Oh, delicious. It's
You're
not going to
filthy,
do
man.
anything here. Grab the dagger. Just do it. What are you so scared of? You scared I'm going to bleed? Or are you scared I'm going to fizzle away? Which is it? What do you actually want?
I just want to be stopped.
You?
And she just stabs him.
Fair. When you do, the blade hits his body with a solid, like, thump. And you watch as the blade actually pierces his skin and slides
She pulls
into
out and
his
does it
flesh.
again.
And every time you do it over and over, it enters his frame, it enters his being.
She just is fascinated with the feeling of it.
Oh, love that. And he just simply watches you. And you know as he watches and as he watches...
She stabs him in one of the eyes, so he stops watching.
Fair. He continues to look at you. And you watch as, like, the eye that you stabbed bleeds. You watch as blood drips from his lips. You watch as blood drips from the stab wounds in his chest. And he smiles, and there's this blood, like, caked into his teeth. And he just very softly says, "Very good."
She keeps stabbing until she can get to his heart.
The next time you move the dagger to stab, he entirely dissipates into smoke and vanishes. And you are being enveloped in this darkness once more. But it no longer looks like tendrils. It all just kind of dissipates away until it's just that black unconsciousness in the depth of slumber. And that is where we're going to leave our session.
Aria didn't get a win. That's rude.
I never get a win unless I'm having sex
You
with my
did get
partner. That's literally the only wins I get.
You also saw Ven, though. That was something.
Oh
Yeah, but that was...
It's like yours was flopped. You got the win first, and then you got the L.
Jade, your fucking delivery of him is diabolical. It's fucking good.
Thank you.
The cadence
I'm
that you
impressed.
like pronounce your words with him
Yeah.
is insane.
Thank you.
Oh, What
Thank
was one? What was
you.
one that I was like,
Obsessed,
that's
and I
insane.
need more. See, I want to talk to him. Can I want to talk to him?
I
Let
want
me
to
at
talk
him.
to
Let me
him.
at him. Let me at him.
Oh, it
fine?
was yeah, fine. You said it was like a
What did I
pause, and you're
say?
like looking at
Yeah,
Aria, and
no,
you
it
went,
was like
fine. Like it,
when
I don't
he
know.
was gonna pick up the dagger, it was like, fine. Ow,
Oh my
I was
god,
gonna throw up.
fucking Aria's quips back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
good.
It's giving fucking enraged granddaughter.
Yeah, she's
fucking
bad.
generational
Oh, I hate it.
trauma.
Yeah. But then like cause Aria did like the winds are changing stuff, and then like Ulric like fired back with like,
Just took
yeah, I guess
that
the
back.
winds are changing, which is
Yeah.
insane. Then back and forth, and like the dance of the game and the playing and
And that's
It's
the thing.
giving- oh,
It's
It's like Jade
sorry, no,
took
go ahead.
everything
Haley.
that
no,
was in my
go
head
ahead,
and
go
was
ahead.
saying it.
yeah,
That's
it was
what I
literally
wanted,
kind of
that's what I
like you guys
wanted.
were going back and forth.
I wanted it to genuinely
It's
feel
like you were in my
like,
head. It was horrible.
I wanted it
Yeah.
to genuinely feel like you're at
It was
this. You're
unsettling.
sitting here right now, and you don't know if he was real or if he was actually
Mind
actually there, or if he was just your own mind, like
I
fucking.
hate that
fucking
he
man.
wanted to prove that he was like real and out there. He's like, I want to show you, and I want to see your reaction to me being real and out there,
He got it.
or I want to see what you think.
I
But
wanted
it's
to
like,
give him.
how much of that is just Arya's mind being like, Arya, like you want to see him, like you need this, you want this. So it's like, is he even real, or is this Arya's mind just completely?
I fully
wrecking
believe
her?
he's real and out there.
That's fair.
Giving-
I don't think
at
he
the
could do
fucking
that though.
Thanksgiving
I'm convinced.
table.
I think that it was Arya's mind fucking with her, honestly, because I don't think that he has that ability. Otherwise, he would be using it in different ways.
That's fair.
Why now?
That's fair.
If Arya's doing that to herself, that's some kind of self-sabotage.
That's-
Listen, there is so much more to Arya's lore that we do not know and we have not talked about.
Aria. I love Aria.
Yeah.
What were
but
you gonna
also-
say, Haley? You were saying
Yeah,
like,
Oh,
it gave the
I
vibe
said
of something.
it's giving sitting at the Thanksgiving table across from the fucking like your fucking conservative ass grandfather. But he's evil, and it's a psychological horror film.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's psychological warfare. It's like you're
Oh
going
my
like you're going back and
God.
forth. You need to be like a certain level of politeness, and then like just it fades over the dinner, and you're like, actually, teeth are bared. We're going for each other's throat.
Shit, her just stabbing him and him. Oh my.
That was satisfying. I mean, that was a win, wasn't it? I think I would count that as a win. Dream
Yeah,
real or not,
it's-
that was satisfying to
but it's
see.
also,
Arya was
like-
not satisfied.
Well, it's also
She
like
didn't wanna do
all
it.
of that, and then
She's
him
not
saying
satisfied.
like praising you for it is like what it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
feel
exactly
good.
it.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's
That's
empty
not a win.
win.
It's just
Empty
like,
win in that.
No.
He wanted that.
Yeah. At the
And
end.
she didn't want to give him what he wanted. and
Oh,
then
you
she
said
just
gross
did it
old man,
anyway.
and this man is so fine. I'm sorry.
I know,
He's
but
a
I can't
fucking-
think of
he's
him.
a
that.
fucking
I can't.
motive.
I
Psychopath.
cannot think of that.
His
He's a psychopath, but
personality.
he's a.
I am weak. I can't think of
Yeah.
him like that. I
No,
can't.
no, that's
picture him
so
like that.
fair. That's
as
so
myself.
fair. Yeah.
Otherwise, I will simp.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's just a fact.
He's a pretty man. I'm excited to draw him. I really want to draw him.
You
Now that he's
should
made
do
more
that.
of like an appearance, I really want to.
This
draw him.
season finale
This-
had everything.
It
His
packed a
first
fucking
appearance,
punch.
really.
Damn.
The first time we've heard him like speak in like a
Yeah, I was so
conversation and have been
goddamn
able to
fucking
talk to him.
nervous because I hadn't done his voice, and I was like, "Fuck."
And you nailed it.
It was
That was
great.
terrifying.
Well, so Ulric built up Tobias to who
Mhm.
he is.
Yeah.
And, like crafted him, and I could see a lot of Tobias mannerisms in 𝐿ric. As if
Yeah.
Tobias was actually
And a lot of the fake charm and like the quips and like the sharp wit and the back and forth.
Tobias really was like raised by him in a
Yeah.
sense, like truly was raised by him, but like influenced by him, molded by him.
He's not that fully because
Yeah.
Molded in
Well,
his
it's also
image.
like, imagine like waking up not fucking knowing who you are, not knowing anything, and then
Scary
the
and
one guy that you have the most interactions with, this is how he if that is how he interacts with humanity, imagine how Tobias probably picked up on that and was like, that's how you talk to people, that's how you get what you want, that's how you live in this world, is by...
It's also one of the only people he was communicating with was Ulric, so like that's the only way to talk to Ulric as well, is like...
Yeah.
But there was like no cracks in Ulric. Well, how Tobias, there's cracks, there's little
like he breaks
things.
sometimes.
Well, there's humanity in Tobias, luckily, a little bit.
There's no humanity in this motherfucking guy who's the most human. He's fucking human.
He's not like a magical being. He's literally just a freaking guy who is evil.
But that's why I was excited about the powerless thing, for him to be like, powerless, except I did all these things.
Yeah.
And it was like...
It's like, I will never underestimate this man. That is one thing that me and Wit will never ever do.
Fair.
I'm never gonna assume that he doesn't have a power or a way to do something, or
he's always
some kind of influence.
That's fair. He's calculated.
God. Oh my god.
That was
chilling. That was bone chilling. That was terrifying.
I'm so glad I wanted it to be spooky. Are you okay?
That made me physically ill. Actually.
Sorry.
No. That's how you know you did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was amazing.
Chat,
that was amazing.
thank you for being here for that whopper.
The rage in Aria was...
Yeah, that was so
beautiful.
good. And I like that it was playful too, though. Like, I like that they were kind of playing with each other. Like, that was
Aria was also just kind of like fed up and being like, I don't want to give in, but also I want to get this over with. So like, let's just do it.
You want me to leave, but you got rid of my door. Where do I go?
Also, you think
Aria just didn't want him to do anything. She didn't want anything to go his way.
And that's
Aria,
so fair.
I respect that. I feel like he shouldn't have gotten anything that he wanted.
Oh
and he
God.
was goading her into
But
it.
he
So.
did. No, he got everything he
Aria
wanted.
said, I want to be stopped, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
With her stabbing herself when she just fucking stabbed Rain.
That's because
Yeah,
she stabbed Rain.
Yeah.
She stabbed Rain.
Saying that she just wanted to stop.
She
Rain.
said, I just want to stop him, and she just wants to be stopped.
Bruh.
That's all she's wanted.
It's also she said earlier that she wants to stop us, as in like she wants to stop the Nexuses.
Yeah.
I think. Even though Ulric isn't
No, yeah, that
technically
was
one.
exactly it. He's a Nexus.
But she really does want to end this
Self-made
bloodline
Nexus.
with her.
A Blackwood.
Jesus.
Blackwood. Oh, I forgot about that.
She's a self-made Nexus.
Yeah.
True.
That was
guys.
great, guys. I love you guys so much.
I'm going
thank you,
for
chat.
personal comfort and going back to Connor.
I'm
Thank
in
you,
Connor.
Connor.
I'm in Connor.
Connor.
Thank you, chat, so much for being here, and happy season 5, because that was season 5.
Happy Horsepower Canonization Day.
Oh my god, a momentous day.
Oh yeah. That happened.
Good night, chat. Get some rest. Make sure you eat, drink, get some good sleep.
Thank you guys for hanging.
Thank you for being here.